Going on, everybody? All right, so try this again. This is another Xfinity video talking about um, my experience as a technician with other technicians, um, and the envy that exists between technicians and between companies, etc., etc. Um, yeah, the term is called competitive marketing when it comes to macroeconomics or economics. Competitive marketing, but I would like to I'm more so leaning towards cooperative marketing, which does not exist in economics. Uh, I don't know why, but it should. I mean, you have partnerships, but partnerships should go deeper than just partnerships. It should just be cooperative marketing with everybody collectively cooperating together instead of trying to compete one with another when it comes to prices and product. And that's when you get into monopoly or whatever. But not to talk about that, but that those are some issues that cause envy between technicians. And I mean, as far as me as a technician, I never was the guy to envy any technician or be jealous of any technician, you know, because there's always somebody new that's going to come, and there's always going to be somebody that's seasoned up training a new guy. And you can't hold that over somebody's head all their life, or hold that over somebody's head like, oh, I was in it before you, I trained you. And only if a person get out of hand or they get out of pocket can you pull that card. If a person is not getting out of pocket, they're honoring you, they're being a good representation of you. You know, they're not speaking bad of your name or nothing like that. There's no reason to feel like that. You should. There's just no reason to feel like you should try to usurp over them and stuff like that. Because when it comes to work, work is work, But when it comes to men, men are men outside of work, and you don't want to have to probably deal with that outside of work, Because then you realize quickly, oh right, it's just cable, it's real life, So, but I'm just saying that I'm just speaking for everybody. Um, but me, when I would go to a job or when I do cable, my first thought is when it comes to other technicians is I want to do such a good job that if another technician comes behind me, it's easy for them because I know how hard it can get. I know how hard it really can get in the inclement weather and all kinds of different kinds of factors you have to factor in when it comes to doing cable. You heavy rain, snow, heavy snow, all kind of stuff like that that you're working in extreme heat. All that can't feel your face, can't feel your fingers, and you're supposed to be touching all this metal, you know. So I understand all of the factors that come in when it comes to technicians and trying to complete your job, and you have families at home, you have children to feed. This is not high school, this is not college to where you feeling like, popularity contest. No, we just have to take care of our families and stuff and eat. So let's everybody learn how to do the job and let everybody make the money they need to make so they can take care of their families and stuff like that. When you look at it like high school popularity contest bullcrap, then you go about it wrong. You start getting jealous of other technicians and stuff like that. You get jealous and envious. How come he got this job? How come he got the triple play? How come you start thinking like that? Um, when I first started, I wasn't seasoned up, so I was the technician that the supervisors dealt with. Oh, we're gonna deal with him. But being 7 years in, I become that technician that never calls the supervisor unless it's something that I can't handle myself, like getting equipment or something like that. Excuse me. Like if I have to get equipment or if I need like a password change or something like that, um, something they have to go into Einstein about. So something that I can't really go into the back end about. So they would do that, because I'm only hired as a regular technician. So yeah, but otherwise I just do my job, and I do my job so well, I never have to call the supervisor. If they call a meeting, that's the only time you see me. Is if they call a meeting or you there when I'm doing when we doing reconcile, or some places I've been in doing cable where they don't do reconcile, like Winchester, Virginia. At one point they didn't do reconcile, and then another point they started doing reconcile, and then it was another place, I think Pennsylvania, where when I went there, that was the best place I ever did cable. because they never, number one, they never did reconcile, and the bonuses were on point. Everything was on point. When it came to even getting CFA, they had all kinds of equipment that you can get and collect, stuff that even the maintenance technicians needed. But and even at the end of it, the district, the one who's in charge of the district of Pennsylvania, the area that we was in, he was in charge of the warehouse. So he's there. We had the actual Comcast building. We didn't have a contractor, subcontractor or contractor warehouse to go to. We had to go directly to the Comcast warehouse and go up there with all of the in-house and get our equipment. And so I met the supervisor that was there. And so at the end of it all, when it was over, the what we had, how many, like a month or two, like 2 months we were there. So okay, so now that's over with. Contract is over with. We going somewhere else. At the end, I had a bunch of noise filters, and I saved them in a plastic bag. The other technicians were not really focused on that. They were just more focused on just trying to get through the 2 months, and get that job done and make sure they don't lose their job in the process and stuff like that. Making sure they putting that trash in the right spots and stuff. I'm doing all that. Plus, I got the all of the filters. Whenever I had to go to the tap, I would get all of the filters off that needed to be gotten off. So when I got them off, I had a whole bag full of them, heavy, and That's what started the clash between CUI, the company that I was working for, Rick Smith, and Comcast or whatever the case. It became a thing where, he's my technician, and it was an ownership type of thing. So it became an emotional thing with him, whereas though he felt like, he's my tech, when really I'm a Salt Lake City tech. Actually, I started in Baltimore, yeah. As far as like my best friend or my ex best friend Greg is, he trained me. So that's as far as it go. He trained me, and all of the companies I really didn't have a place at. They not there anymore. Like Vitel and Trywire, these companies don't exist anymore. So I can't be claimed in Baltimore. Only can be claimed as far as like who trained me. That's as far as it go. But as far as being claimed as a technician, uh, Spectra Broadband and TechCom, they was like you got the subcontractor, then you got the contractor, then you got the subcontractor of the contractor, which is TechCom. So working for between both of those, which is the same, the same under the same bracket, the same whatever party. Really a Salt Lake City tech. So all of my experience came from Salt Lake City, and well, Sandy, Salt Lake, whatever, Heber, Park City, whatever, just Utah. All of my experience doing cable, that drive all the way from Salt Lake all the way to Heber, no gas card days, so, and then getting up before the sunrise and getting back in the house when the sun set. My now ex-wife so mad that she hate Comcast. She hate the ding noise. She even hate the ding noise of like whenever they ding me, I gotta get up and check etc and all that. Like she hate the ding noise as much as I do, so it's like that, and all of my experience was here, and I went above and beyond on a lot of jobs. A lot of jobs, you can say it wasn't fair a lot of times, but it more so is like you're not seasoned enough, and the other technicians are seasoned. You know, one job I had to get on a roof. I was working with Spectra. I was at Spectra Broadband at this time, not TechCom. I'm directly with Spectra, and I had to get on the roof to get to the tap. But if you couldn't even get a truck to get a bucket up there, So that's how hard it was to get to the tap. You would have to gaff, if anything. You would have to gaff up, but I didn't have gaff equipment, and I didn't know about gaffing. So, you know, I just had the ladder. So what I did was use the ladder, climb up on the roof of the garage, and which was high up, and then I had pulled the ladder up onto the up on yes the ladder, man, the 28-foot ladder up there, and then the orange one, and then I lift it up. Then I lift that ladder up and put it on a strand. So I'm like extra high in the sky, and the ladder's kind of like dangling. It's not really sturdy as it need to be. It could swing and dangle. And the guy worked from home. He's like, he worked with Apple, so he's like, I really need this, whatever the case. So I ran him a whole new line and everything. And it was funny because I'm not experienced at the time. I'm not thinking to I'm not thinking to take the line, the RG6, and run it down a pole. I just ran it loosely down. See, I wasn't seasoned, like, I wasn't seasoned up. So what I would have done, now knowing, I would have, you know, did it real nice, put it to the pole, drilled it in, screw clipped it, brought it all the way down, screw clipped it again, and brought it along the base of the garage and tacked it down, and just had it under the twigs and stuff right there. It's like real small. Nobody can get back there. A car can't get back there. Nothing. So I would have just had it, along the ground and then come up to the house box. If you just saw how it looked, then you would agree with me, you know, the way it looked. But the lines that was from the garage into the house was had it was ingressing, and I couldn't change it. You couldn't change it for nothing. Like, you really had to hire somebody to do construction because it had to go from the garage under the concrete to the across the concrete under the ground to the house. Because the house was in a different area. So it was crazy. The house box is not at the house. It's at the garage across from the house. So I was like, man. So you need construction. So I had to use that line anyway. And even though it didn't per pass, I got a pass with warnings. But still, I was able to get it to where um, he can get his services good enough the way he can work with Apple. So I was just saying, like, my experiences and stuff were all here, but as I was experiencing, and I've been all over the place, and a trainee. I mean, like, not a trainee. I've been all over the place, and I actually been trained at one point properly. And when I finally got properly trained, then all of the stuff that I missed, which wasn't much, the stuff that I didn't know or miss, I was able to add to myself. And that's just as a regular installation tech one. Not even a 3 or 4, nothing like that. So, but it still was, I can just probably jump to a 4 and start doing training and get right in as a 4, as a maintenance tech. But I'm just saying, uh, a lot of stuff, man. Even one time, um, I forgot where I was at. Someone likes to travel so many places. I forgot where I was at. Somewhere, and there's a guy that worked for Comcast. It's a guy, a house who worked for Comcast. He's a platinum or diamond customer, and I go to his house as a trouble call. The whole tap is ran over. Shorty, like, somebody ran a tap over and then crashed into a tree by his house. Like, God, knocked the tree down and crushed the whole tap. So had to call her. So that's when I realized that Comcast, some of the employees that work at Comcast are being really hard on technicians, even in-house technicians. Because I've seen in-house technicians um, on the level of contractors when it comes to their care for the work. And like I said, whether you're in-house or contracting, it's just all about you as the tech yourself, not necessarily anything else. The skill can be gained, but it's just about you. What are you doing it for? Why are you working? What do you have to push you? And that's what shows your work consistently. So here it is. He comes. He like, oh, I can fix this. I can fix this. The whole thing. He strip it, do this, make a whole new thing. Put the light. Okay, put a whole new tap on the thing. Like, oh, all right, it's shorter now. It's shorter to the ground now, but it's a whole new tap piece. It's a whole new tap that you put on. You put a what do you put a 4 port on there? Put a 4 port on there. Like, dang, that's how you do it. Like, dang, shorty, like that screwed it together, had the wrench and got like, dang, I just know what he doing. And that was that. Hooked it back in, hooked his line back in, and he was back up and running. That was crazy. But I'm like, okay, experiencing small little different things and stuff like that. Um, but whatever the case, I didn't get to the maintenance tech part. I don't want to go that far. I didn't want to go that far with it. But I don't have enough heart left to really like step it up. I'm good at where I am now. Like, I'm good, seasoned up, just doing this, and this is as far as my heart took me before I lost my wife, before I lost my daughter and my son. That's as far as my heart was able to take me. So I'd rather stay where I'm at instead of try to push my heart to learn something new, because then it's gonna be a toll on my heart, stress and stuff like that when it comes to memory work and learning, as well as stress on my heart. So I don't want to get a stall. I don't want to get a heart attack or palpitations. Making it worse. And I know myself. I know my body better than anybody. But whatever the case, I'm just talk. Back roading again. Sorry about that. But yeah, technicians, they can seem to Not like technician, especially when you're a travel tech. You always brand new. It's almost like you're a new hire every time. So when you go to a new state, you're not respected. You're looked at like a new hire. But when you travel a lot, people do get to know who you are. Depending, like especially me, I'm the type of character that I have. People know me in the different warehouses and stuff and different states and stuff now. But it's all on the East Coast. But on the West Coast, I've only been in Salt Lake City. So they only know me in Salt Lake as far as a technician goes, like Victor Hernandez and Juan, and then I forgot who. It was one Japanese guy, but I wanted him to be my supervisor, but he wasn't. But I forgot his name. Forgot his name. But whatever the case, I felt like if I'm not saying Juan was a bad, he was really there for me. He really was really there for me. But I'm a Blasian, so I just felt like it would have been a better connection with the Japanese supervisor when I was working at Spectre. But because me and my wife had a lot of issues, I never stayed. Always something. I never argued with her. It's just her inventing arguments. That's not an argument, Like I said, you arguing about nothing, a phone. Then you arguing about grocery bags. Like, why you always trying to carry all the groceries? Like, I don't get it. I don't get what's the fuck. What are we fussing about? Like, so all this time passed, 5 years, and then talk about trying to rekindle something or try to reunion, and like first time you see each other all over again, you looking at each other like, you don't know what the reason was, what the argument was about, or nothing. Why you was gone for 5 years? What was I angry about? Heat bumps on his face, and I never argued with you ever in my life. The first time, all I said was, so it's like there was no reason at all for real. It would have to be something on the behind the scenes where somebody was in danger. You just didn't want to say that on the surface, and so you had to find a reason, to keep everybody safe. And so that's what you came up with, and it just was the worst reason. But behind the scenes, if you understand, probably was a good reason. Who knows? I don't know, man. But you know, whatever the case, trying to stick to the topic, but I guess get to know me at the same time, rambling. Um, no, I never had an issue with technicians, man. Technicians had issues with me. I never had issues with supervisors, or nothing. The only thing that started happening was I stopped calling the supervisor. I didn't need the supervisor for anything. I didn't need to call him like, hey man, I need help on this or I need help on that. So I guess the supervisor in Baltimore, Twan, he used to work at Vitel when he lost his company, whatever the case, and he started working with CUI with Rick Smith. And so I'm thinking that he's feeling some kind of way because this is one thing he always say, even when he was at Vitel, like, ain't nobody gonna take my job from me. I ain't losing my job for nobody. So it's making everybody feel like you would do anything above and beyond to keep your job or whatever the case, and who knows what he might want to do, but I'm not judging him or nothing like that. I don't know him. I don't know him at all, as far as being a supervisor. He was my supervisor, but I never need to call him for anything. And even if I did call him, he never picked up, So I guess he was one of those supervisors that only wanted technicians that was really seasoned up, that didn't need help like that because he didn't want to be bothered with like that. Because, yeah, they was weighing down on him too because sometimes he would have to get RG11 and go out there and run RG11 himself and stuff like that. So, and he would have to travel state to state from Baltimore because travel techs, and he's the supervisor of certain techs, and they went to travel somewhere and they had to go hour and some change to get to a technician and stuff like that about something that happened or a truck or something or whatever. I don't mind how I'm looking, but yeah, it's just a lot of weight on him, as a technician in Baltimore. And then you had Luis. Luis had his own team and stuff like that. And he worked with CUI. So he had his own office, his own team. He's from New York. And then you had Twan. I never had an issue with Luis ever. Ever. Maybe he felt like it could have been an issue. So I can see sometimes where he tried to provoke an issue that was never there. Like somebody was in his ear about me. So whenever he would see me, he would say certain things to try to provoke a character that was not in me. And it was never coming out of me. So he's seeing that I'm not whatever he might have heard about me. But still, for some reason, he was not connecting with me because still people talking about me behind my back type of stuff. You know, like he this and he ain't been in that long and he ain't seasoned like that and he would do he act like him. You know how people talk. And that's how technicians talk and supervisors talk when they feel like their job could be threatened. When it comes to me, that's the only thing it could be. But I'm not that guy that's like put your job in threat or in danger. Even though at CUI, that's what it was looking like, but that's not what it was. I just was working and I was just a cool person with everybody. It just looked like I'm trying to get so close to Rick because me and Rick was so close. We was really, really close. And um, we never had any issues at all. Whenever it was a good job or a good place to go per diem, he would get job offers to go into different states because of me sometimes, and per diems because of me. They wanted me to come down there and fix stuff. Want me to run a line. They want me to QC things and fix how. Like it's that bad that people's houses are so bad. You want a technician from somewhere else that's really really good to come and fix this because somebody's Wi-Fi. That's how serious it was. Sorry about the lag in my thing. It's lagging. Anyway, but that's how serious it was. Um, I would go out there and fix the houses up and do it real nice and neat. And of course, you have to take your QC pictures and stuff like that. And my jobs was always really good. I took my time. I'm not saying I'm better than anybody. I was consistent when it came to how I did my job when it came to house boxes and this and that. I was consistent, more consistent than other techs. Family issues and struggles of life can throw you off, you know. And I had the same struggles, but my desire to get back to my daughter has always been my drive. My daughter and my son always been my drive, so I always stay consistent. Um, I don't know. So I just wanted to talk about that for a second and just bring it out. You know, being who I am, I'm the type of guy you want as a supervisor. You want me in charge. That's what all companies realize when they hire me is that they want me in charge. They want me to be a manager or a supervisor, something like that. They want that. People that are already in position don't want that. But the thing about it is that I'm not looking for that. And that's the thing that they are not looking at. They thinking that I'm going for that spot when I'm just trying to work. And the managers and stuff want new people in position. It's not about really, yes, speak proper English. Yeah, English should be proper, standard enough. But the thing about it is, when you have tech people come in, customers, and you're dealing with customers in homes and stuff like that, speaking to them and being slow to anger, being slow to get wrath and stuff like that, being slow to snap and stuff is what they need because you're the face of the customer. You're the face of the company, so the customer see you. So when they come in and you're treating them and they getting angry, da 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 da, my Wi-Fi not working. It's a brand new, and then the thing popped off, the piece popped off the back, and I don't even know why you even gave me this, and da 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 da. You would have to know. You would have not just know, like it go from knowing to, oh snap, character. Now you need the character, the proper character, a pious character to be able to deal with the customer. You have to be patient enough, and no, and then your patience help you come up with the certain kind of words you need to say to them to keep them cool and calm. Even if they stay angry, they can't get angry with you as far as like you advising them on what to do. So I was really, really, I'm an expert at that. So no matter what state I went into, no matter what house I went into, black, white, whatever nation you from, Japanese, this, Indian, whatever you from, I can speak to you and you respect me. And then number two, um, you understand that I'm a peaceable person and all that, and you don't want to, spark anything. The only issue was when I was married was the swinging gang, the swing gang, you know women with gay husbands type of stuff. and they want something, and that type of stuff, and I was just more like rejecting it. I was very throw with it when it came to rejecting it, or the dispatch girls, the Spectra, broadband, like they saying I'm hanging up the phone too fast, and I don't feel like I'm hanging up the phone too fast. I feel like I'm just trying to get to my next job as fast as I can because I'm trying to get off, so I can get back to my daughter and my wife because my son wasn't born yet. Trying to get back to my daughter and my wife and stuff, and that's what I'm thinking. But they thinking like you hanging up the phone too fast on me. So now that those days are over with, I don't even have a wife anymore. I haven't even touched a woman since my wife, my ex-wife. So I haven't touched a woman. I forgot what sex was like a little bit. All that. Forgot what the feel of sex was like a little bit. So I forgot, what sex was like. That's how, what, 2019 to now. So that's a long time without intimacy, or the touch of a woman and stuff like that, the embrace of a woman. So that's a long time. So I don't have that issue anymore. The only thing is that I just want my daughter. I kind of pretty much deleted my ex-wife out of my mind and just try to figure out how to get to my daughter. And if I did, like, the only things I'm thinking about, if I did or if it was possible for me to get back to my daughter, which I'm gonna try, would she try to wiggle back into my life and stuff like that? Because my ex-wife know that if she can get back into my life, even if she don't love me, even though she don't love me, if she can get back into my life, she don't ever have to work. Like, so long as I'm good working and stuff, she can go back to a comfortable, peaceable life, never having to work, and can just sit in the house and do nothing. She know that for a fact. She know me, so she know what type of husband I am. She know what type of I will get up on my day off of work and get the babies and spend time with them and have fun with them and stuff. She know I will take up all of the time and stuff like that, and she's gonna get this ultimate relief of the children is always da da da. I need help. It won't be no complaint. She'll never complain ever again in her life. Not when it comes to washing dishes, washing clothes. Not when it comes to taking care of the children. But when it came to changing a diaper, there was no complaints washing my children. There was no complaints about washing them. She never had to tell me anything or complained about anything. She just sat back and breastfed and just enjoyed that feel of never having to work and pay a bill. You know, um, so she know. She probably would never tell anybody what type of husband I am because it would probably burn her up seeing me with another woman. And like I said, I haven't been with another woman since her. So imagine if I was with a woman now all of a sudden, how would she react? She'd probably spaz out and go the most craziest in the planet. Even though she doing what she doing, she would go extremely crazy, and forget that she's doing what she's doing with whoever she's with. But she would snap and stuff like that. Like I can't fathom him being with somebody else because he ain't been with nobody but me, and then the thought of that is like, dang, he still ain't been with nobody else but me for 5 years. It's like it make you realize certain things that, dang, he really did love me. Like, if he really loved me, he really wasn't cheating. He really wasn't out there doing dirt and stuff like that. It was just you all in your head. Because if he ain't been with nobody or touched a woman since he been with me, that means he wasn't doing it when he was working, when we were together. So it just kind of wake you up. But your mind can go there, man. Your mind can really go there, especially the way your job can carry you. You be out late nights and stuff. Your mind can actually go there, and then you paint so much to where you react from the paint that you paint instead of talk and communicate with your husband and really clearly understand what's going on and why this and why that. That's why when I would come home, I would always complain about why this happened or how long I was just like, man, this job, I was so crazy. I was there so long. And so she wouldn't be sitting there like, you was at that job for 4 hours because I called you and then you still there. And then I called you back and you still there. And why you take something? So when I get home, I can complain like, yeah, this, that, and the third was there like 5 hours because this and that. And then this and that. And then this and that. So she can understand I'm not doing anything or whatever the case. But still, whatever the case, as that, still still talking about me. But yeah, man, I wasn't that technician, man. But yeah, technicians will get like that. Supervisors, managers, they'll get like that. TSC, they'll get like that over the phone too. Give you a hard time and stuff like that. You might be having a bad day, or your voice might have introduced. It might have just came off like as soon as you answer the phone, and you start saying your tech number and all that stuff, or you start saying what the issue was, your tone of voice at the moment could feel like they could take it personal. You just frustrated about something. You're not frustrated with them because you don't personally know them on the phone. You just know what you're dealing with in front of you. You never even seen them before. It's just that they're feeling the effects of what you're stressing out about. And so it can be taken personally with some TSC people on the phone, and then they start feeling certain kinds of ways about you. They start not liking you. Especially especially in your unseasoned days. Like if you were unseasoned and stuff like that, and they know who they haven't heard from you or seen anything about your experience since your unseasoned days, they're gonna be skeptical or doubt you. You would have to have like video footage and proof of what you progressed into, like, or just even a conversation about cable will help them understand what you progressed yourself into, or otherwise they're gonna continue to see you as the guy that knew nothing or whatever. Like you just stopped doing cable when you was at that point and never learned anything more than that. So it could be funny, man, the way people feelings and emotions can go, and how the the reason why they would say yes or no to you about something. But the only issues it turned into with me is once I start learning the job really, really good, the only issues I ever had was envy and jealousy. Never anything else, you know, because I was a person that could take somebody's job, because I knew the job well enough and my character was good enough to where I could be a supervisor or a manager and of the contract, the company and stuff like that, or whatever company or whatever place I could went to. Like when I went to Pennsylvania, the the general manager in charge of, I forgot what the director, I forgot what the proper term is called. Forgive me, y'all. But the director in charge of the whole Pennsylvania area that he was in, the whole Pennsylvania, in charge of that area, um, him seeing my work, my ethic, all of, like the whole 2 months, my QCs were always on point, always grounded, always double tagged like he wanted it. You got it tagged in the house box, and you got it tagged at the ground block where you grounded it at. Whether it's to electric, IBT, to power, to IBT, to ground rod, or in the house, wherever you grounded it at, it's tagged there and it's tagged inside the house box. They didn't want to tag outside, hanging outside of the house. So different rules and stuff. So whatever the case, I did it exactly how they wanted it, how that rule was, and so I did it just like that. So for 2 months, my QCs were always on point. I'm a per pass the whole way, like I'm per passing all the way through. And if ever was not a per pass, I put in a ticket for tap maintenance or something like that, and it was really a real tap maintenance. Like one job, it was on a road, and um, a technician. Technicians do be working with each other too. Sometimes when they envy you, they with each other, but they envy you because they want to do. They might not want to be. They might not be feeling it today. Like they might not be feeling working today, or feeling the area that they in. It might be snowing. Whatever the case, they not feeling it. You the only one still want to go above and beyond and make sure every house is house box and crap like that. And you taking your everlasting time in the rain and crap like that, soaking your drawers wet, and you want to be out there and it's making them look bad because you overdoing it, type of thing. So they start teaming up and coming against you. And when they team up and come against you, they start messing with you, trying to make you look bad, and then they want to get you out of there. It's not necessarily you're a bad technician. You're too good of a technician to where it makes them look like bad technicians, and they want you out of there because so they can continue working the way at the level that they want to work at. But the boss or the owner of the company is happy as ever because that's why he always talking to you and always calling you and stuff, because you always making him look good as far as a boss. But all of the other technicians, you can tell. So is that it was I can easily, the way I work, help people, it be seeing where people are standing at. And it's not even a thing of them not knowing the work and stuff like that. It's just they're just not filling up to it or whatever. You're just trying to work and get the money to take care of your family, whatever the case. You're not really up to it today. And I feel all of them. I feel all of them in that area. But my drive is my daughter so hard, and trying to figure out how it can get my daughter back and stuff like that. That I ended up being stuck like that, just being stuck consistent. And it wasn't a personal thing because I don't know how they work. I don't be around over their back hovering, looking at how they do their job and stuff like that. So I don't know how they working. They know how I don't know how they know how I'm working to feel some kind of way. So it'd be like that. You might have a supervisor, Twan, or somebody feel some kind of way about me, talk to another technician, and then they'll jam you up. Of course, on the surface, they'll be like, why would I feel some kind of way about you? I don't even know you. I don't even talk to you. Nothing. But the whole time you mad because my QCs are always on point, Never in his, it's the way the work is. We can obviously tell. So one guy comes, oh, can I borrow your drill, man? All of a sudden, can I borrow your drill? All right, yeah, you can come borrow my drill, and I need it for this job. I need it for this job, but you want to borrow my drill? No, I need it for the next job, but I don't know that yet. I need it for the next job, but I don't know that yet. So he come to borrow my drill, burn up my battery. But me thinking ahead of time, I keep one of my batteries. So he come back with the drill, da da da. Next job, I needed that battery and the extra battery because the wall that I had to drill through was such a type of wall, so I had to drill, so that type of stuff. So it made it hard for me to get that job done, So I had to ask the customer, can I charge can I charge my batteries and that type of stuff. I need to charge myself. So I was wise, bring my battery pack, or sometimes I wouldn't bring it. Whatever the case, man, it just be that the deceptions and stuff, and that the envy can make people do the most cleverest, the most clever, disrespectful stuff. Like I'll leave my battery charger for my drill in the hotel because my both my batteries are fully charged, and I know that I can get through the day with two fully charged batteries, unless it's a special case. But one day they come and they did it on purpose. Can I borrow your drill? And that's how it happened. Where I couldn't get through I barely got through the day, you know. So whatever the case, stuff like that. And at this job, when he came to borrow my drill, the tap was they needed tap maintenance because they had a fluctuation in the tap. So I had to put a ticket in, But at the time, they couldn't put tickets in because the Tech 360 wasn't the fulfillment center for the Tech 360 wasn't whatever the heck was going on wasn't built all was it wasn't done all the way. It wasn't whatever was going on with Tech 360. Anything happened with that thing to where we couldn't put in for tickets. We couldn't put in for one drop. So we couldn't put in for one drop. So we had to call the supervisor, and the supervisor had to get the information of the house and stuff, and you had to send him pictures of the stuff personally, and then he would do it himself. So it would do that. So whenever you would go to a new state, whereas though before you had full, you had full whatever ability of the tech. I'm trying to say you can use the Tech 360 fully. No nothing blocking you. You can put in notes and stuff like that. You can put in one drop. You can put in tickets. You can put in for pre-installation work needed. All kind of stuff you could put in for. You don't need anybody like get in the way. But then all of a sudden you go to another state, all your stuff is blocked off and you can do nothing. So you're like trying to call people like, hey man, what's going on? So when you call in TSC, you're sounding frustrated, but they realize you're a travel tech, and so you're frustrated because you know what you can do versus what they not allowing you to do all of a sudden. So they can't pull a card like, well, technicians don't, they can't pull a card on you. So because you know what you can do and what you can't do as a technician. So it'd be that thing. People feel some kind of way they can't hinder you and stuff like that. But it's not really anything else aside from they might even could also have differences of belief systems and stuff like that. Like difference of religion could get into play because you could have had a conversation at the meeting one day and you said something like, yeah, I keep the Torah, I'm a rabbi. And then somebody might have said, well, I'm a Muslim or some crap like that. And because of that, now y'all having problems with each other, or that person having a problem with you. Next thing you know, you're getting all these crazy jobs. You get a 7:30, you get a 5 to 7 and a slide to 7. And then you just like, it just becomes a mess. Every day is a difficult situation, off of how people feel about you. But on the surface, people will still act like they don't feel anything about you. And so it knocks your ability to take care of your family. Your children are taken from you, and all kind of stuff people do to you and ruin your life, and not only your life but your children's lives. But the thing about it was with me is that I'm a holy man for real. So doing that to a holy man, not realizing that man is actually a holy man, he just has a personality, but he's holy. He's holy and has a good personality, or has a seasoned personality, a flavorful personality. So you mistook his flavorful personality as somebody to like hate on or whatever. And then when you saw that he was really a pious man, really pure and holy, a rabbi for real, he know the Torah in and out. He can guide you to the Most High, to the Creator. He can teach you about things that the Most High wants you to know, and things like that about heaven and earth, and how to get back to the kingdom of heaven, and what things about life really is, and et cetera, et cetera. He can get you there. And you didn't see that at first. You just saw a black guy that's looking like he's from the hood or whatever. Church hoods have churches and stuff. So everybody in the hood ain't bad. Some hoods people go to church and the children go to church and they cling. And when they cling, they just go they go further and further. Sometimes they do. And then they might split from the church and go, a further way. Like I ended up going to church and split and then ended up going and became a rabbi. But I wasn't that guy raised in the hood that stayed in the gutter, and stayed in. So you have that. Everything isn't bad because the area is always bad. Depends on what you choose. So whatever the case, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say as far as like how to fix technicians feeling emotions about each other. You know, because you could ride along with a technician just on some training mess. Your 2 week training or getting back into the groove. It's more like 2 weeks getting back into the groove because you experienced 7 years. So you get your 2 weeks getting back into the groove, and you pair it with a guy that you don't connect with as far as like your character and your personality. So when you're talking about conversating in a car with one another, your conversation don't connect because you're a rabbi and you only talk about biblical things, and that person is completely not a rabbi. So the conversation not gonna go well. So they can take that difference and they can depict the rest of your career at that company about what they say to you, first impression type stuff, you know, and you won't be able to fix it because already you just clash because you didn't agree on preferential things like belief systems and things like that. Um, but that should not get in the way of when you're talking about just business. You can even have somebody that's homosexual or something like that, and y'all clash and and y'all at the same job or whatever, y'all clashing or whatever. That can depict things too. That's how it happened with Spectrum. That's why I lost the job at Spectrum in Santa Monica, California. But if this doesn't work here in Salt Lake and they don't, they push me out still and I can't get my daughter, um, I'm gonna just go back there and get a lawyer to see if I can get a wrongful termination and be able to get my job back. Because it was wrongful termination because the the guy in charge of the apprenticeship program at Spectrum of Santa Monica, his name was Charles. He was gay, and he had the voice and everything, fingernails and all that, But he was gay, but he had a hard hat on and stuff. So it was funny. You sound gay as ever, but you got the hard hat on and the safety vest. So it was just kind of confusing. It was laughing every time inside myself, but at the same time, it was like respecting that you know what you know your stuff. So keeping it business, I was able to get through it. Yeah, I'm not looking at the fact that he's gay and he got the squeaky voice. I'm looking at it like he really knows stuff or whatever. I'm gonna keep it business. And so it started to become more than business because it started to become something was going on between Charles and Janine, Miss Janine, the HR, the woman in HR who hired me. So something was already going on between those two. Janine is from Louisiana. I think she's from Mississippi or something like that. She said Mississippi. She's from Mississippi. She came out there. She worked with Spectrum, so she's black already, brown. She's dark. She's a brown woman, and she's Southern. And this guy's homosexual, and he's Hollywood or whatever the case. So it already was something going on between them too. So I come into the midst of that, and just Janine, all Janine did was call me into her office because she wanted to talk to me about something. So I went in there and talked to her when we got our equipment and our SIFA and stuff. No, we didn't get a SIFA. We got equipment. Got equipment, and she just talking to me da 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 da, and she's making it seem like we're in a relationship. The way she's talking to me is like we're in a relationship, and I feel like I need to apologize for her for something, like cheating on her. That's how I felt like I'm cheating on her, and I need to apologize for cheating on her or something. Or she was cheating on me. That's how she's making it sound. So Charles is walking by the door back and forth. He just can't sit still. He just back and forth, back and forth, back. Like, what is Charles? All right. But the whole time Charles is gay. So he feeling the energy of she's hitting on me, and I'm keeping it business. Like I said, keeping it business with both of them. But then I came out the box with Janine. I was like, you know what, Janine? I got a little personal. And because of that, then Charles called me and he said, Dwight, can I talk to you? He called me on another day. I had to talk to you, da da da. And they got crazy. So I'm just like, da, da. He knew I wasn't gay. The way I was talking to him, he knew I wasn't gay. So what happened was one random day we ladder training. So I passed the driving part. You had to go through the safety cones. I passed all that. And then we get to the ladder training, the easiest part of everything. The ladder training, got to check the ladder, the legs, all that stuff, da 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 da, whatever the case. Would you use this ladder? No, because it's itchy. The fiberglass. Nah, nah, nah. So whatever the case. So we had to know all that. And then my hard hat was sliding off my head because now I got cornrows. I got cornrows, braids, but I had locks. My locks grew because of the pandemic. Grew so long. The last I'm gonna tell you because I feel the energy. I feel the energy coming right now in Salt Lake. I'm here. I feel the energy. I'm gonna explain it in a minute. But my locks grew so long through the pandemic, and nobody touched my hair, so it grew into one whole big lock. The last when I first got my locks started was here in Salt Lake. My wife and I went to my ex-wife and I went to the Latina salon. It was a Latina salon. I forgot. It was a salon where the Latina was there and the Latinos was in there. I don't know. I'm gonna say Hispanics. I don't want to put them in. So they're there, and you got the guys cutting hair on this side, and you got the women over here. They doing hair and stuff. So we go in. We got our daughter with us. She's in the car seat, whatever the case, and the same woman that do my hair all the time, she's there doing my hair. She's washing my hair. She's twisting my hair. $80 to put it in. And when she said $80, how I knew that I'm not on East. I'm not in the East Coast no more. Cause $80 for starting your locks, like golly. Even my aunt was like, "What? $80? Let me come on out there." Because black people it's a high demand for the way our hair is to get it done because it's predominantly black or predominantly brown and curly hair. So you have a lot of people doing hair. So the price is low. But out here in Salt Lake, the price is higher because it's like you don't have people out here really doing hair like that. That's with brown people. So and you don't see that many brown people like that. So whatever the case, she does my hair or whatever. And that was the last time I had a woman touch me aside from my wife. So the Latina that did my hair at the salon here in Salt Lake City, and then my wife were the only two women. But that wasn't an intimate touch. It just was a woman touching me. But still, so for a time I ended up doing that, and then the pandemic came, and then all this, and then my hair I put it in a ponytail, and it stayed like that. So I could take the ponytail, I could take the band off of it, and it stayed like that in the ponytail. So I wouldn't even need a rubber band or nothing like that. It just stayed like that, one whole ponytail lock, because I didn't have anybody to do it or cut it and stuff like that. I didn't have money. I was homeless. Just out there, trying to find a way. After my now ex-wife mother kicked me out of the house or whatever the case. So, and then so when I got to Santa Monica, California, um, I ended up homeless out there because Mr. Charles fired me or whatever because the hard hat couldn't fit on my head. That's what happened. So the hard hat couldn't fit on my head because my locks was too thick. The ponytail was like, it wasn't, you couldn't move it, adjust it, or nothing. It was just one big thick of hair, blob of hair just going into a ponytail. So the hard hat wouldn't go on no matter what you do. At one time point in time, I would flip the hard hat and I would, click it to the front of my head and it would be good. But they got so bad to where my hair got so bad to where it's so thick to where I do it like that and it still slide off the front way. I do it the other way, it would not even go on the other way. So I would need a chin strap because of my hair, and or somebody that can cut it. I didn't have anybody that could cut it or wanted to do it because it was thick hair and this that and it's dirty as ever. And so nobody had time to do it or wanted to really deal with my hair. So I couldn't find anybody to do it. That was another reason too. So and then there's bugs in it and stuff because I ended up homeless and stuff. There's bugs in it and stuff like that, man. I'm like trying my best to like keep the bugs out of it, but because it's locks, not too many. It wasn't really that hard to like. It was just a mess, yo. So I ended up going back to work at CUI back in Baltimore, and they sent me to Tennessee. So I'm in Tennessee, and that's where I got my hair done at. That was the first time a woman touched me, but it wasn't intimate. It was just the first time a woman touched me ever since my wife. Her name was Ellie. She's from New York, but she's out there doing hair, and so I just really, 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 really needed my hair something done to it, because it had bugs in it and stuff. It was really you need that. Not I just want my hair done by this girl. I just want her hands in my hair, and her fingers in my, and all of that. The feel of her fingers twisting through my. No, it wasn't that. But yeah, at the same time it felt good. But what I'm saying is that was the last time. So Tennessee. So I'm out there. She cut it all off. She cut the whole ponytail off, as dirty as ever on the inside. She like, this thing need treatment and this, that, and the third. So she took me to wash my hair. She cut it into a bush and then she braided it back down. So that's how I ended up being like this. And I haven't had anybody touch my hair. Another woman haven't touched my hair since Ellie cutting my ponytail off. Now I'm back in Salt Lake City. I would be able to go to the woman that I used to go to get my locks put back in or whatever. So yeah, that's that. But it was just that. What I was trying to tell Charles is that I just need help with my hair. Like if I can get my hair cut or my locks maintenance, find somebody that can cut my locks and re-maintenance and retwist them back in there and then trim them down like how I want to get it done, then yeah, I can do that. But I don't have money right now. I'm not in a place. I don't have a permanent place to stay where I lease or something. I don't have a lease, a place to stay. I don't have a job, secure a job or nothing like that. And I'm homeless on the ground. What you want me to do? So it was that. But it was more just like he used that as an excuse. Like, well, you just gonna have to, I'm gonna just have to let you go. Cause I kept telling him that um I had the only way I was able to keep it on was that I put my hat on like this, and then I put the hard hat on top of my hat, and then my hard hat wouldn't come off my head because it's stuck to the hat. The hat was helping it secure on there. The hair was, slipping off, or whatever. So they were like, well, you got to take that hat off. So I'm just telling you that even if I put it on with the regular, put it on without the hat, it's gonna slip off. So by the time he's going back and forth with me, it's like I've been doing this for long enough to where I know the ins and outs about the hard hat and the safety rules and stuff like that. The only way the conversation should have went was like, like I need to find somebody to cut my hair. In the meantime, let's just get through the ladder training or whatever the case, till we can get you some money through the apprenticeship program and you can find somebody to cut your hair. In the meantime, whatever the case, you just do the ladder train or don't do the ladder train today. But what he was doing was just like fussing at me extra hard, but it was like wasn't even about the ladder no more. He just fussing at me. You being insubordinate all in my face with the fingernails and you being insubordinate. Yo, this is. I just felt 100% felt he's just about Janine. I just like wanted to like Janine. This guy talked like I just wanted to contact Janine and be like, man, he all in my face, all this and all that and all that. Just how I felt. I didn't feel like it was about the ladder enough because I'm like I said, I'm a seasoned tech. You ain't gonna really sit in my face and argue with me about a ladder. You not, because you're not gonna argue with me about that. I know all of the rules of the ladder. So it's like, what are you trying to tell me or teach me? What are you really talking to me about? Like, what are you fussing with me about? So it has to be about Janine and how I like Janine and I'm not gay and stuff like that. So it has to be about that. But you making it about the ladder and you being insubordinate. I'm like, no, the hard hat just don't fit my head. I gotta. So he just wasn't hearing it. These guys pop up the back of the truck and they looking, spying and looking at us. And next thing you know, we go inside. He's like, you know what, you're gonna have to go and da. So we go into the apprenticeship office, and then that's when I showed him like, look, man, da. Like you fired me already. Since you fired me and you didn't want to give me a chance or you didn't give me a chin strap or nothing, I took it off. And Janine was in the room next to us, so they in there. I can hear them in the room. They got the door closed. I guess wanting to hear what he gonna say. So I get my hat on, hard hat on, and then I clink it on tight, and then I just tilt my head down a little bit. Since I tilt my head down like this, hard hat fall off. He's like, well, try it on the other way. I said, try it on the other way. I'm gonna show you. Click, cut it on, tilt my head down, slide right up. Do it again, like tighten it a little bit more. I'm like, yep, I already did that click. You heard all the clicks and all that. It's tightening all that, still fell off. I like, see, and so now let me show you with the hat on. Let me show you the difference. So when I do it like this with the hat on, click, look, it don't fall off. It's a little slippy, but it's not falling off. So I'm like, that's how I was able to do it. So even when I sweat, it's still good until I can get my hair cut. Then I can put my hard hat back on. I never had an issue putting my hard hat on ever. So it's not a conversation or something to fuss about. Why would I not put my hard hat on? So if I have one, I'm gonna put it on. Yeah, I had moments where I was a technician and we didn't have hard hats. We didn't have harnesses and nothing like that to strap into the ladder, nothing like that. The hard times, no equipment. So yeah, I had those moments, and so I didn't wear a hard hat. But whenever I had a hard hat and the safety vest and in the harness and stuff like, I would always put it on when I get to the ladder, always. So it was never an issue. It's never an issue with me. I don't want to climb the ladder without. I don't know what y'all thinking. I'm this dangerous person or some crap like that. So I'm not that guy, you know. So it's not a conversation. I would fuss with somebody, like, you know. So I don't know what he thinking about. But yeah. So it was that. So it was a wrongful termination because him and Janine had issues already, and I was liking women. You know, in California, the area that I was in, Santa Monica, it's like a law out there where you're not allowed to be in straight relationships. Like if you are interested in a woman, they will try to hurt you or hurt the woman. You know, all these men, all these men will come out of nowhere, homeless and not homeless, rich and homeless, will come out of nowhere that's gay and try to stop you from being in a straight relationship with a girl. That's serious. Like they ring the alarm. Like, you know, oh no, he talking to a girl. He talking to a girl. Gay people coming out of nowhere. They jumping off roofs, parachuting down out of nowhere, coming out the sewer and crap like that, breaking down, you know, jumping off balconies and stuff, just to running like an Axe commercial just to stop you from talking to a girl because you're straight. That's what it's like out there. The area in Santa Monica, you gotta go past Beverly Hills to get to Santa Monica. So when you're catching a bus out there, go past Santa Monica. I mean, go past Beverly Hills, and then you get to an area where it's like LGBTQ town or something like that, gay town. And so the crosswalks is rainbows and stuff, and the McDonald's is rainbow McDonald, and everything is like a gay world. And so you cross into that world. So then you just keep driving. You if you straight, you can't even get off the bus at that stop. You can't get off. So like they want to do something to you, and so you just gotta drive all the way you trying to go to. So I went to Japantown, you know, which is Sawtell Boulevard, and stayed there, hugged that area right there. So I already had crossed the line and went into Gay Town. So that's how it was. That's how they carried it. But this was the same area where everything was at, where the Kardashians and how the Kardashians got started and who had to go to the Hulu building, then went to the Sony building and all of this, the credits people and stuff that be, you know, when the end of the movie you see the credits, like this is where these people live at, the credits people, you know. So it's like, yo, I'm out there with them. Dr. Dre's daughter come up to me and talk to me and want to get in relationships and stuff like that. But I was homeless and I'm like, man, if I'd have got my job, if I'd have got the Spectrum job, and then I'd have met you here, then yeah, I would have definitely been with you. I'd have said, yeah, come stay with me. We can be together, you know, type of stuff. We really was trying to be together for real because she didn't have anything. I didn't have anything. We both was out there struggling because, you know, Dr. Dre's daughter, you know, just talking, chopping it up, you know, and we connected. It was a good connection. I didn't want to leave her, but I had to because I was homeless on the ground, you know. If I did get my job back, then I would be back out there, but they wasn't trying to give it back to me. It's making it about gay stuff, not keeping it business. I know how to keep it business, but if you cross the line, I'm gonna defend myself. That's all it is. I'm just like let you know that I'm not with it. Let's just keep it business. You know, we still in Earth, so that's the thing. Um, but that's spectrum. That's just spectrum. Um, yeah. I wish I'd have ran into the right type of women. Like I wish I'd have ran into like a, the perfect. Like yeah, Dr. Dre was the right one to run into, but I just couldn't. It was about just regular living. We were just regular living. Maybe it could have got to the point where she could have helped me with my music career and stuff like that. But I don't know. I didn't. It was nothing to talk about. Maybe you know, at the same time, you're thinking like I don't want to help him straight out like that because then he could take advantage of me. You know. So we in between Tom and trying to get to know you and taking advantage of me, and me not wanting to be on the ground, homeless, dirty, and stuff like that. I even went to the dog pound where Sky Jackson and her mother, Kia Cole, was at, so I can try to talk to her mother about my father and like he had wrote her a 6 page letter when he was in jail and she got the 6 page letter that he was writing to her when he was in jail. So I wanted to talk to Scott Jackson's mother about that, you know. And so I went to the dog pound, but I made sure it was closed before I went because I didn't want to, you know, just abruptly like, hey, I'm, you know, with the world, the bellboy from, you know, who are you, you know, so that type of thing. So I just made it be funny, like recorded it on a video on my Instagram and just you know, I'm here, dog pound that, and made it funny to let it be known that yeah, I'm really, really for real trying to talk to y'all because I made it funny at first, and when I got back in the car, I got serious and was like, yeah, I really want to know about my father and what happened and what he might have said to you that I might can take for myself that he might be trying to say to me. So it's like all kind of stuff like that. I'm trying to understand. And I got a beefing with Will Smith, not knowing it and crap like that, because Will Smith don't like my father Tupac, and he's beefing with them because Will Smith is gay and my father not. And so that beef, and so now you like a product of him dying and crap. So now it's like with enemies and crap by default. It's like, yo, I'm dealing with stuff like that and still trying to work at the same time, you know. And I can work because I'm not in that arena. I'm just a holy man that just probably got enemies from people that, like anybody, got enemies. As long as you stay away from me, we ain't got no problems. I stay away from you, you stay away from me. I can live my life, you live your life. His career is not ended because of me, you know. So my career shouldn't be ended because of him. You stay in your zone, I stay in my zone. You in your lane, I'm in my lane. By default, me just whose son I am, put me on a level of you, you know? And the fact that I'm not a bad representation of my father. I'm a better representation of what he would have wanted to become in his own life, aside from the thug life. I would have been a better version of him, what he would want. So seeing me and what type of person I am today still was a better version of what Will Smith is like, you know? I mean, as far as character goes, piety goes. That's why they always in MIB. You want some piety? You for nothing, boy. You don't want piety for nothing. You want to be just gay. This whole time you just slick, you know. So it's that. But trying to keep it cordial and keep it business, man. I'm just trying to get to my daughter because I have to teach my daughter the way of the Most High. And no, I would not put that solely 100% on my now ex-wife to do that. Like, why would I have my now ex-wife to do it when she not even seasoned enough as me? She might be more seasoned today, but she's not as seasoned as me to teach my daughter what I would want her to know and learn and the different types of, like, no, I would want to do that, so she can get a better understanding of why this and why that and names and this and scriptures and, learning a language and things like that. I would give her a better understanding than what my wife would give her, my now ex-wife would give her. So I would want to raise my daughter and my son in the way of the Most High myself and not have anybody else teach them something different than, and not just necessarily something different, something that is not a full truth. It's partially a truth. It's partially something believable or religion, but it's not full. It's not full because their objective in life could be deeper than just what we thinking. They could be key players into something for future events or whatever the case. And hindering them by not letting them be with their father and learn from their father could hinder the future generations of what would need to be done. There's something that the children, their age bracket, 6 and under, that age bracket, they're going to need somebody in their generation that's going to rise up when they get older to hold the line. But if my daddy never taught me right, I don't know how to hold the line right. And everybody's relying on you. But daddy wasn't there because they kept daddy from teaching you how to hold the line. So that's how it happened with me. Nobody told me anything about Tupac. Just never said anything. And so me and myself with a natural desire to live right was the only reason, it was the only way I was able to save people's souls and stuff and hold the line and hold the weight of my father and be able to heal people and stuff at the same time and it not be a burden on me. That's why I don't feel the effects of it. It's not a burden on me. It's not heavy because I live right. So his fame now transferred to me. It's still like we regular people. You're a celebrity. I'm famous just because of my father. I'm a child celebrity, or rather a child of a celebrity. I'm not a celebrity or famous, but I'm a child of a celebrity. And because of that, I'm able to hold the weight of my father, by being a rabbi. So if I did become famous or was in a movie or became a famous rapper, some crap like that, or always in the entourage of somebody famous, always on the scene, you see me in the camera and crap like that, the bodyguard or this person or the driver, whatever the case, I can hold it up. Like the Kardashians, the guy that's there with the bald head is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be me. Because Kanye West is trying to tell Kim, I'm going to go get help. Meaning somebody that is biblically inclined more than me to be able to guide us, to hold our souls up, hold our spirits up through all of this mess all of this darkness. And I was the one that he found through Enes. Enes, who was on Making of the Band with Diddy, Puff Daddy. When he was on Making of the Band, he became the standout guy. And so even today, he's still the standout guy of the whole band. So he holds the rest of the crew of Making of the Band. And then you had Making of the Band too with Danity Kane and all of that with Puff Daddy. But he was the one to hold them up, Enes. And then Enes got known from by Kanye and 50. They already knew who he was, but he got back in there. And by him getting back in there, he was able to connect with 50. He was able to connect with Kanye West and get connected with the Kardashians and stuff like that. And that was on behalf of me, basically the rabbi, to get connected to me, But Kylie had a link to me even before that. Kanye's link was Enes. Kylie's link was my. I'll keep it PG. My cousins, Jaden Smith and Willow Smith. They are my blood cousins for real. Jada and my mother and them grew up. They were cousins, first cousins and stuff. So our families, just like regular old family. They're just cousins. They grew up together. Then you just got famous. That's all. And it's unfathomable for people that watch you on TV all the time to think that you have family and stuff. But yeah, we're family. And who's this guy saying that he's yeah, and it's true. So, but through Jaden and Willow, Kylie knew about me because there was somebody in Jada's family that was a rabbi that was able to, whatever the case. And my mother, her name is Pre. So if you ever heard Jada call my mother Pre, which I wanted to make an edit about, but I'm in a difficult situation now where I'm on a run now and stuff like I'm in haste now. So I can't sit down and collect my thoughts to put that together. Like how Jada and my mother know each other and the connection between fame and regular life, how they made it through, how Jada made it through all this time. But yeah, she called her Pre, and and then Pre called my auntie Angel. She just called her straight out Angel, but I call her Auntie Angel, and then Aunt Patsy is really my cousin, not Aunt Patsy. So it's basically what they're trying to say is the family's twisted up a little bit. So we just, so that might be a little confusing. So they just kept it PG for me. And so Jada would be my second cousin. And so it's like that. Jada's my second. And then Willow and Jaden are my third cousins. And then my mother and Jada are first cousins. And that's how that goes. And you know what they say about the marriage line. You can't marry your second cousin or your third cousin. Whatever. That type of stuff. So it's supposed to be close and so super close. But Willow and I got close without actually communicating. So Willow watches my stuff and she basically acts on it. And it's a way for her to try to get me into the industry. But in the meantime, I'm the guy coming from a regular life. I don't put my reliance on that because I don't know that world. So I'm afraid to put my reliance on it. So I'm still trying to get a job at the same time, trying to trust that they're going to help me get into the industry. But it's like the way I'm looking at the industry is like I feel like I got to compromise and it's not going to work for me. So I'm not relying on it, But it's supposed to be what it's supposed to be is how I'm supposed to get on the Kardashians actually. The guy with the bald head was supposed to be on there, and then I was supposed to be on there. And he's the husband of Chris. That's what he plays. The husband of Kris Jenner. And I'm supposed to play the new husband of Kendall. And then, all of the short jokes. Oh, the short jokes, and then the tall jokes. And they got a baby. And even though he's short and she's tall, and those supposed to be the jokes, and the 818, and we supposed to do stuff with the 818, and that's how it's supposed to go, And it didn't go that way because Kendall was the only one without children, so that's how they was gonna do it, So if you can bring Kanye in, he's like me. He's like another me. He just make his money attached to his value. My value is as equal as Kanye's value, but there's no money that attaches to my value because I'm not willing to compromise. And my father would not want me to. I even had Def Jam record label contacted me, and I not want any parts of Diddy. No parts of Diddy. Like, no, I don't want no parts of Diddy. My father would not even want me to sign to Def Jam record label. So no, none of these record labels, because it's controlling. You can't really be creative like you need to be, and be your own boss. It's always going to be somebody hindering you on a studio time or hindering you on a beat or how much time you got to lay down a track or hurry up and do this 3 and 4 and 5 times. So it's always somebody gonna get in the way of that and hinder you because of feelings and emotions. But I don't know, man. I'm scared, man. Honestly, I'm honestly scared to go that way. But that's the way that it's looking. If I don't get a job, it's either gonna be I don't get a job here in Salt Lake City and they cut me, you know, and it wouldn't be a proper cut though, because there's no reason why they would not give me the job. I'm not an insubordinate person. I'm not a person that I'm a very very reliable technician that you would want, but I'm just an injured technician. So being injured on the job, my back, that's one thing that my ex-wife can still tell you about. Is how I got injured on the job, almost fell off the ladder on the midspan in the alley somewhere where I couldn't tie the ladder off and stuff like that, and it was muddy on the ground, and the perfect setup for the ladder to slip, and I almost slipped. The guy came out with a crowbar. I got down the ladder. I'm like, how the crowbar was gonna help me? It's like I was gonna fall to the ground and survive, and you was gonna crowbar me to death. That's how I felt. But it was like, what was that about? Maybe people feeling emotions, not knowing what I'm about. Because I don't really talk. I just go to work and go home and stay in the house. And I'm always up under my daughter and my wife. And so that's the only time you see me was when I went to work. If it came to like wanting to go to Dave and Buster's or something like that, they just wanted to, hey, let's go to Dave and Buster's out of nowhere. Joe Cunningham is all of a sudden like, let's go to Dave and Buster's. I'm like, yo, can we just plan this? Like, I work. Can you plan it? Don't just be like, let's go all of a sudden, because I could have planned to just sleep or planned to whatever the case to prepare my body for what I'm about to plan to do, 3 days ahead or something like that. So I'm planning stuff, and I need to get rest for my plan to work. And you like, let's go to Dave and Buster's, or I just don't got the money or something like that because I'm planning with the money to go get an apartment so we can get out her mother's house. So it's stuff like that. And when I first had came worked with Spectre Broadband, it was they was I like Spectre Broadband a lot. It's just that it was a bad stain on me, a bad look on me because my wife started arguing with me, and so it just like we split. We had split, and when we had split, I went back to Baltimore. I went back to Baltimore, or I was about to go back to Baltimore because I was like, man, take me to the airport. And she stopped, and when we talking on the way to the airport, and she stopped and like trying to get me to stay, and so I ended up staying. But now that I ended up staying instead of staying with Spectrum, I'm still here. I'm still here, but I lost my job. I left my job, so it's a bad stain on me. Like I just up and did that because F the company or something. No, I got family issues and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm in a strange place. I'm not born and raised, and I don't have any family or friends out here, and then I'm here helping a sister in the way of the Most High and stuff like that. And so, if I if we fall out, I'm completely lost and left out, and then I'm left stranded to be homeless in a strange place, that I'm not born and raised in. I'm from the hood. I'm not from here, so I'm not from the middle of this middle. So it would not be right for me because my character, the way I think, and all of that stuff, it would be different. As soon as I talk, they're gonna look at me strange, like you definitely not from here, And then I don't know what they might think next, good intent or bad intent. So it scares me, Even though I can be brave, but it still scares me, because my intent is always good. So it was that. It was that, man. But I tried to go back to Spectra. They just kind of like wrote me off. But it was like the battle between me and my wife. Like it was never an argument, just a battle. Like her emotions and feel. Like what is she really feeling? Like what do you need help with? What can I really talk to me? And it wasn't like she wasn't talking. She just was nagging and bickering and complaining about stuff. And I don't know where it's coming from. She's not talking. I don't even really know her, to be honest. She never really opened up to express her life to me, really. It was just more like eggshelling it and sharing a little bit here and there. But my whole life, she met my family and everything like that. She did meet my family and stuff like that. But, it was just eggshelling it. But, I don't know, man. I don't know. She started to open up slowly. And by the time she started to open up slowly, things got dangerous. Got real dangerous and stuff like that. But I don't know how really it got dangerous like that. But whatever, man. I don't want her and her mother killing each other because they both in love with the same both in love with the same man, and I don't want them killing each other. So that's why I left. That's not really why I left, but that's why everybody agreed that I should leave. I was more into, let's talk about this thing, so y'all can know how I feel about all of this stuff, so you can know, like, don't cross the line or whatever the case, you know. But you not knowing how I'm feeling it, or I don't know how y'all feeling. Y'all don't know how I'm gonna react to how you, like, we not talking and communicating. A bunch of hidden emotions, yo, a bunch of drama. So, you know, admiring a man, like, you can pretty much say for the times we living in today, is like a pretty perfect guy, you know. Um, you talking about loving, being a father and being a husband and a father, pretty perfect guy, you know, if you give him all of the tools to do it. Yeah, he'll really, like, stand it. So imagine me being in a new relationship, never being in one since my ex-wife. That'd be crazy. But I'm back. I just need my children, yo. Just need my children in my life. I need to teach them. I need to raise them is my responsibility, and I will be equally guilty before the Most High Creator having children and souls in this world that I'm not training up and not giving them a good representation, what they should become in this world, how they should look at the world and stuff like that. Yeah, they get one view of life from her mother. They get the play view, the cat view, but they need the real view too. They need to know how to analyze and assess that everybody's not a cat, everybody's not an agent, everybody's not don't doing the same thing, or the Americanized way of things. In different countries, people think differently. They can get with you when it comes to playing around, but people are real out here in the world in other countries. You have to teach my daughter, because I can't assume that my daughter is not going to go to another country. I can't assume that. She can get older. What made her want to go to Dubai? Or maybe she got to know how to conduct herself. You never know. So, and then teaching her different languages and all of that stuff. I want to do that myself, because I know I can do it better than any other man, because it's my daughter. It's an undying love. It's not like, I need to be reimbursed for this, or I'm only doing this because your father not here, or I'm gonna need something later in life for this. I took care of you. Now when you old enough, I'm gonna put my dick in you because I took care of you. Like, that type of energy. I don't need that type of energy. I can't rely on my ex-wife's brother DeAndre and Charles to do it, because they wasn't raised in the Torah. They don't know Hebrew. They can't teach you the Bible and stuff like that. DeAndre is the water boy. I don't know what he is now, but he used to be just the water boy. Come out the house and just go get some water, go back in the house. Now, I don't know why I was like that. He could have been oppressed, real heavy out here. I don't know what the reason could have been, but I'm just saying that's what it was. And I was the one that could teach the whole house. So I would rather me be the one to teach my daughter too, since I'm advanced above everybody in rank when it comes to morality, being a rabbi. So yeah, man. Everybody can say I have no ill will. I don't have any ill will at all. Nobody can say I have ill will towards anybody. I just was protective over my children and my wife when it came to crossing lines. That's all it was, and I wasn't about playing, and that's all it was. I live a straight life, a real life. Got it from my father. Being real. Being real. So I said a lot, man. I said a whole lot. I want some change. You know more about me, type of person I am, my character. I lose words a lot, so I fumble. But please forgive that. When you're in a different airspace, your mind could fumble a lot, because you could be under attack, or it could be a lot of traffic, so you can fumble over your words and your thoughts a lot in a new airspace. But yeah, man, technicians never had an issue with me, except it might have been just I'm working too good. That's the only thing somebody could say about me in my seasoned years. Now that I'm seasoned up, what it was before, it's not what it is now. What it is now is like, yo, this guy's just seasoned up. He don't need to call a supervisor, nothing. He's like his own supervisor and stuff. Like even my boss. I think my boss wanted me to be a supervisor when I went to Pennsylvania when I came back. But instead of make me a supervisor, he said, "Well, no, you're not gonna go as a supervisor. You're gonna go as a tech." But I think it was a threat towards Twan where he took it personal. Like I would have you go and have him just be the supervisor, because he know my work is top tier. Like I'm always on point. We got as long as we got all the equipment we need, everything getting done right. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, shorty. Like all that. We don't even have side pieces in the warehouse in our situation. But how you get a side piece? Get a side piece like what? You got the bed right there. Let me get the side piece. Get the side burrow. Put the side piece on there. Here, you got a side piece. Put it on there right next to the bed. So it won't crush the line. Like, how you get that? Where you get that from? Like, yeah, we thinking I be using my mind. It got bad. Like, even it got so serious where he traveled so much where the warehouse in Pennsylvania, they have urinal bags. So the urinal bags, I use those. Like, I would go right into the back of the truck and pee in the urinal bags, and then zip them up. The way they had it, like, it was nice. You could zip them up. It's like this little gray bag with this stuff inside. When you pee it, turn into jelly. And then you zip it up. It's a urinal bag. And then you get a alcohol pad inside of there. You can wipe your hands, whatever the case. And then they had other bags for, like, other stuff. But I would, use the number 2 in those bags in the back of the truck and would never use the customer's bathroom. And I would just basically put it on, idle or something like that. Like, man, use the bathroom real quick. So the customers never had an issue with me doing that, in that house and stuff like that. So I will always be like that. I'll go anywhere. They can send me anywhere because they know that if I can't get to a bathroom or a toilet, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm going to poop in the bag. So they was like, man, he reliable. Go to a trailer park home, go poop in the bag and crap like that. And I'm not afraid to get up under there. It's why they was liking me. I'm not afraid to get up under there because I knew if I had to get up under there, I knew how to prepare myself to get up under that thing. What I need to do, I had the knee pads, all this, all that. I had not compression shorts, but I had like, it's like some pajamas, but they were like kind of tight. So I took advantage of that when I was in California because they all got a bunch of tight clothes and stuff like that in Target. Like, man, all these tight clothes. So I bought one of these so I can wear these under my pants and stuff. So I started doing that when I went back to work. Tuck it in, wear it, and it was like compression shorts. So if it was like twigs and stuff, nothing got them, all that, man, all of that stuff. I just was staying focused, man. I bought a generator, like a portable AC/DC outlet, then plug into the car. They stole that from me. They stole, yeah, they stole they stole my toner. Stole my toner, the one that toned through splitters. Stole my toner, and they stole my AC/DC outlet, plug, whatever. Because it charge your phone, and you can plug your meter up into it and charge your meter, whatever the case, if you stuck out there. So they stole that from me. So I was like, man, stole my stuff, yo. Stole my knee pads too. I had to get new knee pads. Stole my broom and my mop because whenever we would go into a hotel, I would sweep and mop myself. There would be no room service. So I would sweep and mop myself, make my beds up, all of that stuff. So I did everything. Washed the tub out. I did all of that myself. So yeah, man. I never complained about anything except my back. Because like I said, my back was the reason why I couldn't work no more at first. I had to go to the ER. So my back was the reason it went out. So when my back was hurt, I got a back massager. And that was how I was getting through. Some days I had to get the day off. One time I had needed 2 days off. But they let me go because I said I need to get the extra day off, man. My back is really killing me. My lower back really killing me. I didn't want to tell them that I had a disability, but I was like, my lower back really killing me. I just need another extra day, but they weren't trying to give it to me. Even though my contract said 5 days, 2 days off. 5 days on, 2 days off. They still was like pushing it 6 days. But I was like, man, I need the extra day off, man. My back is killing me or whatever the case. And they didn't give it to me. It was like, man, like, well, you can go home, man. You can go home because you ain't gonna keep on calling out. I'm like, I don't call out all the time. It's just my back really hurting right now. Like, it's really, really hurting. some kind of, I need help, like a massage place, some therapy or something for my back for real. Like my back really hurting. They not thinking I probably could be injured on the job, or they not thinking like that. They thinking I just need to let them go. It might have also been they don't want to pay insurance, because even though I'm working with the company, I don't think they. It was like I was getting paid, but I wasn't part of the company all the way, so I didn't bill or nothing like that. It's like I'm this stealth employee of the company, but it don't look like I really work for the company because I don't bill anything. I don't even see the billing. I don't go onto the Penguin. I don't um, do anything when it comes to billing. I don't do inspection or nothing. I can't do anything on the Penguin. So that's what Twan was looking at. He wanted to make sure I could do nothing, and that was how he was basically stealing my money too. I think that's what it was, stealing my money, because he's like, you can't bill for this and you can't bill for that no more. I'm like, how come we can't bill for, I'm like, we used to bill for AM3 or AM4. It don't matter. I'm like, well, you can't bill for AM3 anymore, for amp or nothing like that anymore. We don't even give amps no more. Da 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 da. Like, but still though, if an amp is on there and I got an amp from somebody's house, I could put it on another house, I can still bill for it. Like, no, you can't even bill for it. I'm like, well, how about how come, I'm like, you know what, the talk of billing, how come I can't bill? Like, why can't I go and do my billing? Oh, we don't do billing anymore. Just do CAO, complete as order. I'm like, okay, well, fine. Well, where's my billing sheet still? Like, if we still getting piece rate, I still want to know what I got paid for. What's the billing sheet to know what I'm doing and how much I get paid for and what I actually did. So that y'all know what I did or whatever the case. So let me see. And so I can know what I got paid for, how much money I can calculate that I should be expecting to get in my paycheck. So I didn't even know how much I was getting paid. It hoped that I got a paycheck after the week. So it wasn't even paying. It wasn't even telling me how much I was getting. It just whatever I got, and I just had to go on trust. And so I did trust. I did trust Rick like that. I really did trust him like that. Even though the billing, I didn't see any of that. I did trust him. But the problem that happened was when I came from Tennessee, I looked different because I got a haircut and I didn't have my locks anymore. So he told me to meet him at 7 a.m. at the warehouse on the side where no cameras is at by Luis' office, the door where Luis' office is. So I'm there. And 7 a.m. before he's there. He's always there at 7 a.m. on the time before anybody. But I was there before him. I just got back from Tennessee. 10-hour drive from Tennessee to Baltimore. Got there, bam. Slept in the truck. Got there. Like I said, I don't got no family or friends. Whenever I'm gone and I'm not there, out of sight, out of mind, they don't care to know anything about it, how I'm doing or nothing. But when I'm there, they just want to get rid of me. So I don't have any family or friends like that. They don't talk to me. Differences of religion, belief, all that type of stuff. So it's whatever. Still stuck on whatever they stuck on. But so I slept in the truck. 7 a.m. he gets out the car, walks around to the side. He's like, pulled his Glock out. He walked up. I'm like, he's from Alabama. So I'm thinking that's probably why he's in Baltimore City, a predominantly black area. Even though the warehouse is like 2 or 3 blocks from the FBI building, still, he was probably feeling a little skeptical and scared. So he bring his gun to work because you got to deal with Twan and Luis. So I don't know what kind of relationship he has with them. Why he bring a Glock to work? But he brought a Glock to work, concealed carry. Hops out the car, unholsters it. I'm like, I look at him like, you good? He was like, oh, I thought you was somebody else. Like, who you thought I was? Luis or somebody? Like, we trying, like, man. And after he pulled the gun on me, that pretty much it. It settled in my spirit, and then it settled in my swoogie for real. Like, I'm just like, I let it ride, but I couldn't let it ride internally all the way. So that's another reason why I left. It's because he pulled it. That's really the reason why I left. But I made it about the billing. Like I did here at X3 Tradesman. Somebody pulled the gun out on me when we was doing a job. I never told my wife that somebody pulled the gun out on me. I mean, I'm assuming she knew already because she be doing that spy work. But I didn't tell her. So I would assume she don't know. But I, at the same time, assume she do know because she a cat type stuff. So like even this video, I'm assuming she's seeing it even without me knowing she's seeing it. So we was on Redwood Road. We go take Redwood Road, go down there about a holiday, and it was a retirement home. It wasn't even built up yet. Being the X3 tradesman, the had was Gunther's. Gunther's needed some people, so Gunther's had a little contract with X3 tradesmen. They needed some electricians and some HVAC personnel and stuff like that, and some plumbers. So we went up in there, whatever the case, and I was doing the HVAC, so I was putting up ductwork, and so I had to do like I had to get on board right away. I had to learn right away. I was going to Fortis College trying to do the HVAC program or whatever the case. And this is going to be the reason why I quit all the way when the guy pulled the gun on me. When he pulled the gun out on me, I quit the whole thing. I left the college and everything. And I was an honor roll student. Like, I was an honor roll student. Um, yeah, I was an honor roll student, perfect attendance and all that. So I got certificates from Fortis College of how I was doing good in the class. And the professor that was teaching me and stuff, he was a Vietnam vet. And he was telling me his 40 plus years of experience, the different root, tricks of the trade, and to take your time on things like that. When you talking about you want to get ready to solder something, you got to make sure you sand it well enough, and there's no no ridges and no bumps and stuff on that thing. You just sand it a little bit, like nah, sand it. He was like, really take your time and sand it, get it smooth. So when you put it on there, slide the copper on there, you can just worry about the silver going in there when you soldering it, and it sticks right. You don't have any bumps and cracks, and then you got leaks later. So they were saying that people doing halfway jobs now don't do a halfway job. So I listened to my elder, not just my professor. He's a Vietnam vet. Listen, it's not about white and black. It's about, you know, respect and truth and trust and all that. So I was able to get a job with X3 Tradesman. So that's how that happened. And at Gunther's, Gunther's was the contractor. My ex-wife would drive me all the way to work and stuff like that. It's crazy. 2 hours to get there and stuff. She pregnant and stuff. So she really was there for me. I don't even know, like I said, there was no reason for us to get a divorce. Nothing. We never argued. So if you were point a reason, no reason at all. Except her and her mother. If you ask her, like, why did you get a divorce? For real, if there's a real reason, because a real reason. We talk about ancient, old school, work through your difficult times, and through thick and thin, real marriage. If somebody really asks her the real question, to be real and be honest, not if I'm being honest, be real and honest. Why did you get a divorce? She has no answer for that. She gonna make up some excuse, and everybody gonna see it. Well, he didn't give me a Galaxy Note 9, so I wanted a divorce. It's not a real reason. Like real reasons, you know. And so you can't just do that. And people know you can't just do that, but it's America, so you can do that. But the point is, we never had a reason to split. We never had an argument or fight or nothing. So I can't point out nothing except reasons why I'm angry that I can't see my daughter. So that would be the only thing I could be angry about, is that why is she holding my daughter from me? Why is she not letting me see my daughter, contacting my daughter? Like, why I can't come to Utah, find out where she at, and I can go come see my daughter, us never having an argument before. Why is there us? Why is what's in the way all of a sudden? With some guy, some jealous guy in the way all of a sudden? There's nothing really in the way. Just inventing problems. So even to the point where if I don't know, like take it to court. Like would she come to court? Like is she even here in Salt Lake? Is she in Atlanta with Joe? Is she in Chicago with her other family? Is she in Vegas? What is she doing? Like where's she at? What's she doing? Where's my daughter? Type of stuff. So it's like that. But that's the only thing I would be angry about or concerned about. Other than that, I have no reason to be angry with her about anything. Um, yeah, she just was young, and that's all it really was. It's nothing to throw under the bus about. I could throw under the bus, but there's nothing to throw under the bus about. I just mad about my daughter not seeing my daughter, so I get frustrated. But yeah, she just was a grown woman, learning how to live life, learning how to take care of herself and stuff like that. And that's all it was. Um, Sorry, got a little emotional. 134. I'm gonna let it go to 2 hours and then just post it on YouTube. Um, So my life just affects my cable. And I did had to do HVAC at one point before I got the cable job, and then I lost my cable job, and I tried to get another cable job at a different company here, and I think they was Mongolians and something like that. But I didn't get in good enough. I got injured on the job, and I got had to get disability, and so that's what it was. And then when I filed for disability, it was like I said, the setup had happened. My wife kind of like counted me out. Instead of trying to figure out with me or think of a plan with me, she just basically, I think that's what it was. She just counted me out. Dang man, the money gone, so I'm gonna just go back to what I go backwards. Probably she made more money doing what she used to do or something as an escort or whatever the case. So he probably went backwards because more money comes quicker and you can do more of nothing with more money. But now that you have children, you probably can give your children more of what you didn't have. You know. Now I don't know what she's doing, but I'm just saying you could probably go backwards and so feel like you get more money or a guy can take care of you better than I can. True. One of the people on the most bottom of the thing. Um, I could be famous and be rich and all of that stuff, but I'm too much like my father, so it wouldn't happen. Um, yeah, I still owe Dorian. I still owe Dorian $100. Dorian from Spectra. He was at Spectra. He was from North Carolina originally, and he worked at Spectra. And then I ended up going to TechCom, and I was a security technician. He's a security technician. I'm a security technician, so I was doing that, installing cameras and security. Just installing security. And we would exchange like, how many man you got some like they ran out of sensors. Like, yeah, I got some sensors, man. They're like, I got a touch screen, man. Like I ain't got like a touch screen. So we was looking out for each other because we was the only two brown faces from the east side, and or rather the only two brown faces of the company of Spectra. So what happened was we looked out for each other, but he ended up giving me $100 when I lost the job because I got injured on the job, and I applied for disability, and so because of that, I didn't have any money, and so waiting for 6 months with no money, and then you had nowhere to stay, and then like what the world is that? And so he helped me with 100. My daughter's in the back seat, my wife is in the passenger seat. He got his wife with him, and he was like, "Man, don't worry about paying." He was like, "Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. Just go ahead and take it. Take care of your daughter, man." So I was able to buy my daughter some Pampers and stuff like that. It's crazy, crying and crap. Always was crying when I ain't had no when I got disabled or when I always was crying. My wife always see me over there crying and crap. Like, you always crying, right? Because you got to think of a plan. You're in a different place. It's like imagine her being in Baltimore, never being in Baltimore before. Something happened to you. Now you got to sit there and think of a plan, and you're not even from here. So it's like that. But because you're a woman, it'll be easier for you to survive because you're a woman. You can find a way. With a man, no. It's not going to be easy for a straight man. For a gay man, yeah, it could be a little bit easier. But a straight man, no. It's going to be hard all the way. Um, and it's nothing traditional anymore. So it's like a street man is like a woman today. Women are like men today where they can bring home the money and take care of the family and stuff like that. Don't need a man for the financial parts, you know. And that's pretty much it. So it's backwards. So a woman taking care of a man, a woman still can't see herself taking care of a man, even though the world is backwards and it's like predominantly LGBTQ. So since it's predominantly LGBTQ, the tradition has gone out of the window and the rules have reversed. Men are got vasectomies and stuff now, so it's like still asking for a traditional situation. Yes, that's good. Still want a traditional situation, but it's like somebody got to compromise, or all of the street real men are gonna die, homeless and poor, without anything, and all you have left are just LGBTQ men. And OnlyFans and all this stuff coming out now, it's like crazy. But it's like a bunch of people able to get a lot of fast money and a lot of money, not knowing what to do with it. So it don't end up being used. to advance anybody. You're not building communities, not buying land, you're not building homes. Nothing is not it's going to no good use. It's not going to finding a way out of anything. It's just going to just that's the way you are. OnlyFans, and it just stay that way. All the money that you ever made never amounted to anything. Just got spent on whatever. So that but I like working for Spectra. They really look out for me. Mr. Juan really looked out for me. I like the company. I didn't have any issues with anybody at all. No issues with anybody at all. Just coming in, they look out for me. Give me the truck, give me the phone, the iPhone 7, and all that. The iPhone 8 had just came out. We got the 7. I'm like, dang. And then they got the XM1 meter just came out. You get a fresh one. I ain't got the fresh one. And all this. And it's looking out for me. And then I'm not really trained like that. And they come on a job and help me. Mr. Victor Hernandez will pop up out of nowhere, helping me out. What happened with Spectre though, I'm not gonna say the real reason, but um, before I ended up leaving, I did get sat down one time by the CEO of the company and Victor, my supervisor, because the girls wanted to flirt on the phone. That's what I'm saying. The girls wanted to flirt on the phone, and now I'm feeling like I'm married. I just want to get the rate codes and I want to hang up. Get the rate codes. Okay, you have a good day, ma'am, and then hang up and get to my next job. That's what I'm doing. So I'm like just keeping it business. So my complaint is, their complaint is I'm hanging up the phone too fast. So that's what they sat me down for. You're hanging up the phone too fast on the dispatch girls. Like, huh? Huh? What you mean hanging up the phone too fast? First thing I said was I'm married. First thing I said was I'm married because I'm not thinking I'm hanging up the phone too fast or I'm disrespecting anybody for real. First, so the only thing I'm thinking is I'm married. And they was like they froze. Victor Hernandez and the CEO of the company, Spectra, froze for a second, like that's what he replied with. I'm like, yeah, I'm married. What you talking about? I ain't got time to be on the phone flirting with girls. Like, why do you like hanging up? I don't hang up the phone too fast on nobody. Yeah, but they said you be hanging up the phone too fast. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like I let call it in. I did this on the job. I did this. I installed this, that, and the third. I just a F4. I said this, that. I put an AM3. I put an amp in. That's an AM3. Did this and that and the third. Whatever. I ran whatever lines. And so it was like that. And I'll say that. Okay, well, da da da. I now put the codes in. Before you just tell them what you did. So you tell them the codes. Then it got to the point where you tell them what you did, and then they put the codes in themselves. But they still can slight you on the code. So, when they repeat it back, like, okay, so you said you did this, and repeat it back, they can miss something. And then you get half paid. But whatever the case, when it was a little bit more fair, they was, calling it out and stuff like that. And, yeah, just thank you so much, man. You have a good day. Click, get to the next job. 30 minutes late, get there. And they thinking, I don't know what they thinking, hanging up the phone too fast. I don't know. I guess if you sitting still, you in the office, the state of mind that you're in is not in haste. The state of mind that I am in is in haste. I'm being hasteful because I got to get to the next job, and trying to get all of these jobs in and get everybody taken care of. And I don't want anybody feeling left out, like the technician just don't want to come to my house and he's lazy and that's what it is. No, I just need them to get to these jobs quickly and everybody's taken care of, calling the customers, letting them know I'm still going to be there, et cetera, so they can feel taken care of, And I don't have time to be on the phone like that. So that's when I seen one of the guys that was training me one time on a home security doing takeovers. I did some of the training. I didn't get full training, but I did see some of it. He used to flirt with the girls on the phone, the dispatch girls, and I'm like, I'm thinking he must know the girl, like he must really know her actually, and personally, and so I probably see her off work and stuff because he's flirting with her and stuff. Yeah, how was your day and this and that. Oh, I think okay, da da da. Maybe we can, like, okay, maybe we can, like, okay. So it's really personal. Like maybe we can. I turn to the left, look out the window, like. I'm thinking it's about business. Yeah, dispatch. That. Yeah, maybe we can look to the left, out the window. Like that. I can't do that, really. Like, yeah, you just kind of, he was like, yeah, you gotta talk to him, man. You gotta make him feel good and stuff like that. They da 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 da. I'm like, dang, I'm married, man. I can't do it. So then when it was my turn to really work on my own and talking to him, I was really short, like, I guess, to them. I get the rate codes. Yes, ma'am. You have a good day. Thank you so much. Click. I wouldn't wait for them to say you too. I'm not thinking that they're gonna want to say you too or you have a great day too. I'm just like, all right, thank you so much, ma'am. You have a good day. Click. Then when the complaint came, I start waiting for the response, like, you have a good day. Then they will hang up on me, like, click, hang up all loud, like real loud, like it's a loud telephone, fumbling over the phone, and hang up the phone. I'm like, dang, they feeling emotional over there, the dispatch. But it was because I was so hardcore about loving my wife. And I really did love her, and that was the proof. Them getting jealous and angry was the proof that I really love her, and I'm not gonna talk to nobody else. And I still haven't talked to another woman. Now I'm available. Nobody's to be found. No job and no stuff like that. Nothing that attracts them to me. Now that my wife is not with me anymore, she divorced me, and she's married, remarried, and stuff like that. So no attraction, no distractions, or nothing. When I was married to her, all the distractions in the world, all of the problems in the world, even with the HVAC X3 tradesman, Larry was the one that was there when a guy pulled the gun out on me. But I walked in the room. It was like, I guess it surprised the guy, but I just needed equipment. But I'm thinking, why would you bring a gun to work? What's going on? So maybe he from here and he know how it really goes down or how it can really go down. I'm not from here, so I'm not knowing. So, and I'm thinking like differently than he's thinking. So I'm walking through the hall looking for Larry. Hey, Larry. Like, I don't know where he at. So I go to the right. Just go anywhere. Go to the right. Any, meeny, miny, mowed it. Found him in a room, a random room. He's putting up the ductwork in. As soon as I walk through the open way, it's all wood. No doors, no nothing, no paint, nothing. Nothing. No drywall, nothing. Just all wood. So we go in. I go in. As soon as I go in, there's two guys. One standing behind it's two guys. And then Larry on the right, standing on the drywall. Like all of the drywall is stacked up high enough that you can use it as support. And he's standing on it. And then the guys he's talking to Larry, he pulls out his gun out, right out the right side of him. It looked like a silver, gold, I don't know, I couldn't really tell. He pulls it out. As soon as he popped the holster, the holster pop. I was like, oh, wait, I could, in my mind, I am military trained. But in my mind, I'm thinking, dag, I'm too far away. Not, oh snap, run, or put my hands up. I ain't do none of that. I ain't put my hands up. I ain't get scared. I ain't nothing that. I ain't do nothing like that. As soon as I came in and he pulled the gun, I was like, what you bring a gun to work for? Like, I was extremely calm. Like, I have no guilt in my life, nothing in my life that I need to run from. So it just came out. Like, so why are you here? Because a girl that was on Facebook is crying for help and calling me on my phone every day saying, let's be together. I think we should be together. And I'm telling her no like 8 times before I finally say, okay, I'll give you a fair chance. And so I'll come out there to meet you and your family. And I finally just give her a chance and I go out there and meet her and the family. Simply because she begged me over and over and over again to be with me. Not because I got some reason that I'm really out here in Salt Lake City. Because a girl begged for help. I don't have anybody. I don't have any friends. Nobody's in my corner. I'm always alone. I feel alone. Nobody is there with me. And she's crying like she's the most loneliest person in the planet. I'll come here. She got everybody here. Little Big Joe, Sean, him, her, and them. All these people. Like, what the heck? I thought she was alone and stuff like that. She was by yourself. I'm just saying, like, like, then she cut on the catfish show. Like, I'm like, what's catfishing? You don't know what catfishing is? Like, no, I just came from the Philippines. I was in the Philippines like 2.5 years. What's catfishing? And she's like, what the world? I don't know. But the thing about it was we was talking about the Most High in the Torah. So why would I assume that, I would let my guard down? I would not put my guard as up as I would if I was talking to somebody that was secular. But somebody that is serving the Most High Yah would put my guard more down because we're supposed to be family in the Most High in the same belief system. So yes, if you're saying you're crying for help, I would come to your aid faster. You're saying you really need help, you need someone in your corner, and me being a rabbi, I know I can teach you. I'm not trying to be with you though. And she wasn't taking no for an answer. No matter how many times I said no, she would always call the next day and always try to spark a conversation about how we should be together. Now I can't even contact. I can't even get her to say, "Hey," like she was like completely disappeared off the face of the map. Whereas though before, I couldn't even tell her no. I couldn't get a new phone number and none of that. Just to get away from her, she'll still find out where I'm at. I see you over here acting like you don't want to know who I am. I said, let's be together. I said, no. Like no matter how many times I said no, she won't find a way to find me to still try to be with me. But now that we have children and crap like that, it's like with the world, more reason to try to be in your life and be involved. You know, it's crazy. Don't want to hear no at all. That's how it be. Disrespectful, yeah. That's how it be. Very disrespectful. Um, but it wasn't a matter of I was really trying to be with her. But when I did decide to come, I decided to marry her already before I came. So you know what? I'll give you a fair chance. So that was me deciding to be with her and marry her and stuff like that. So I didn't mind opening up to her intimately. Otherwise, I would not have. I would not have. But she kept pushing me. Let's be together. Let's be together. Like, dang, you really want to marry me that bad, girl? Like, really? Like for real? Like 8 times. The eighth time, something about 8 times, because the Filipino and the Philippines did the same thing. 8 times she's asking, wanting to be with me. Let's be together. I'm like, no. Her grandmother, her mother, her father, begging me to be with her 8 times. The eighth time came. I was like, all right, man, I give her a fair chance. Didn't work out. She went with her ex-boyfriend. Same thing with Tanika. 8 times. All right, I give her a fair chance. Like, what the world going on? Like disrespecting my character the whole way. Like I got this face that just like my face says do them dirty. Like that's what my face look like. Just do them dirty, but you don't know what's inside of me. And I'm kind of glad my face looked like this because then on face value, you know, well, I'm glad and I'm not glad. I'm just saying because face value, you had to get to know me to know what type of precious person I am, so that the right woman would come along and get to know me. Like, oh, I found a diamond in the rough for real. Like he looked like that, but he really, his heart really good, So I'm gonna keep him to myself, type of thing. That's how Tanika was acting. Keep him to myself. She even bought the fertility pills. Like soon as we met, and I gave her the fair chance. She used to share a room with Brooklyn. I don't even know how Brooklyn them relate to them, but she asked my sister, my cousin. Da, da, da. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna leave it alone. But she slept on the top bunk. She slept on the bottom. Tanika slept on the bottom bunk. Her room was a mess. I cleaned her whole room up. I mean, her room was extremely a mess. Like, it was such a mess the way I wanted to turn around and catch a plane back to Baltimore, but I didn't have enough money to. But so I ended up having to sit there and deal with it. Like, I don't got enough money to go back. So, all right, let me help her. So I ended up cleaning her whole room. I mean, she had a plate under her bed. It was a fork on the plate stuck to the ketchup, and it was hard to get the fork off the plate, unstuck from the ketchup. I'm like how long you had this under here, pulling the fork off? Pink, like, golly, girl, what you doing? What is you doing in here? It's crazy. But I cleaned the whole room up, pushed the bed in, and relocated everything and all of that. That came cleaned up. Her mother came in there mad, and that was the beginning stage of um, Rachel being in love with me, or whatever the case. Seeing how I cleaned this whole room up like that, and then washing the dishes all the time. She come home, the dishes always clean. She had pots that was dirty and stuff and rusty. Cleaned the pots up. She came home one day. That was the last thing she said. That was the last thing she had did or noticed before she started fussing with me. She came home because we had to move back in her house because we were waiting for Section 8. And then I'm waiting for disability, and then we trying to get a new low-income house until Section 8 comes. So I'm washing the dishes. I'm like, let me scrub these pots since I got time because I don't have a job at the time. So let me scrub these pots, because I'm not doing nothing. So I scrub the pots, scrub it so hard the way it's all silver on the bottom, not one rust. She come home, she like, who bought new pots and pans? She was dead serious. Who bought new pots and pans? Who bought new pans? They bought new pans. I'm like, no, I just washed them. You washed them? Like, yeah, but the still wall. Just scrub it. And then she just like, that's when she snapped. That's when she snapped. Next time we come down the steps, baby got heat bumps. Tanika hiding. Like, it's funny. It's funny, but it's not funny. She's behind me hiding and crap like that while we go into the kitchen. Her mother get up fussing at me, but Tanika the one running like backed in the corner like she about to fall against like her mother trying to attack her. You know, I'm like, why? So it was like that was like that. So I'm like, all right, well, fine. I'll be your medium. I'll be the mediator or the cushion for the blow. It's really what it was. I'm the cushion for the blow that Tanika's supposed to be getting from my mother. Like, and then one another time when Tanika she got frustrated or angry or something like that, and so she had ended up leaving because I was like, you should go back to your mother house and take some time out or whatever the case. Because we was fussing, wasn't really fussing, but I was frustrated with her about something, and she was like, well, I can leave and da 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 da. I'm like, all right, fine, then go back to your mother house then, da da da. You take some time out, da da da. So she did, went back to her mother house, and we was fussing about probably fussing about me just not trusting her all of a sudden. Because she's acting different and stuff like that. Spending money, and I ain't know she's spending money and stuff like that. Or her going out to get something to eat and then don't bring anything back home, and then she didn't cook dinner. Stuff like that I was getting upset about. Like, yo, how come I smell Carl's Jr., but I don't get no, I ain't no burger in the microwave or nothing for me. Where the food at? Oh, I ain't cooked nothing yet. Like, but how's a Carl's, like, smelling Carl's Jr.? Like, where my food at? Like it start feeling disrespectful. Like, I pay the bills and all that stuff. I don't get no Carl's Jr. Because you used my money to buy it, so why I ain't get one? So it was that. So I think she just wanted to get out, but didn't really know how to really communicate that. And be like, I don't want to be in this relationship no more because I feel like a child to you, really. Okay, well, that's what I was trying to say in the beginning. But now that we have children and we married, like, but it's like that. I guess it get like that. People get into stuff they're not really thinking through. Whatever the case, she go back to her mother house, and a couple of days pass or a day pass or two or whatever. I go back to go get her so she can come back home because we stay together. Her name on the lease and all that stuff. So I go to get her, and the door, I don't know what the heck. Her mother was so mad at her that she had to, I don't know if it was the bedroom door or the front door. Like, and she was laying. The door was I don't know if it was, it looked like the front door was in her bedroom, and it was like she didn't have a bed no more or a bunk bed no more. She just had, like, she can come home and you can go back to your bedroom, but like you got to sleep on the front of the door. Like, you got to sleep on the front side of the door, as to say that I'm still kicking you out. So that's when I realized she was trying to kick her daughter out because she made her lay on the door. Like what the heck, no, like, girl. Who took the front door off and put it in your bedroom and made you sleep on the bedroom door? Like, I mean, sleep on the front door in your bedroom. That was too funny. I'm like, what the heck going on? That's when I knew her mother was that mad at her. Made her sleep on her front door in her bedroom. Like, you can come in, but this this door symbolizes you being out. Like, that's terrible, yo. So the whole time, what's happening to me is what Tanika's mother want to do to her daughter. So everything that people are judging about me, however you're feeling about me, is what you're supposed to feel, like, in a negative way, is what you're supposed to feel about Tanika Jackson. As far as, like, why did I leave? Why it take 5 years for me to come back? Why haven't I seen my daughter in a long time? Is really what they want to do to Tanika, but they would not do that, because she has to learn how to be a mother. She has to grow up and stuff. Even her grandmother came in, and her cousin and stuff like that. She's just in the kitchen holding our daughter. She's in the darkness of the kitchen, just sitting there. And they fussing at me. And there's nothing to fuss with me about. So they just fussing at me. Her grandmother come in, you need to be a man and get up and get out. I'm like, what the heck is she fussing about? Like, none of this stuff. I'm not feeling any of it because it don't apply to me. I'm like, who is she? Who are they fussing at? So Tanika's grandmother, Tanika's cousin, is sitting there, and she's just smiling, like shaking her head, like letting me know it's not about me. But her grandmother fussing at me. But I look at her cousin. She's like it's not about you for real. It's just how like that's not fair. It's just this, that, and the third. And she probably feeling like it should have been me and you type of stuff. And then her mother comes, rah, 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 rah. She's spitting in my face, the liquid's coming out of her mouth. She was just going off, spitting in my face. I'm like, dang, wiping it off, and she about to smack my hand. Don't wipe the spit off your face. If I spit in your face, I'm gonna spit in your face. Like she was going crazy. She ain't had nothing to fuss about. So I'm like, dang, man, they was fussing so hard that I had to crack the bottle of water. Like, dang, yo, my lips dry from them fussing. Like, my lips dry and cracked from them fussing, but I'm not. And then DeAndre pops up. I'm like, hey, my daughter going with me. No, no, she not going with you. So everything they said to me is what they wanted to say to Tanika, but didn't say. And I took the hit the whole 5 years. And now here I am back, and I don't know how to find out how to get my daughter taking hits for people. Hopefully Tanika matured enough by now. She was able to get her life on track. Her being young and not understanding, and had a good husband to take a hit for her like that, not deserving to be fussed at and stuff. Like I didn't deserve any of that. I never did any type of thing that would make them want to feel like that towards me. You know, hopefully she went back to college, but I was telling her to go to school in the beginning. Go to school. Even before I even came to visit her, I told her to go to school and stuff like that. She was like, I don't want to go to school. I just want to open a business. Finally, I leave. She goes back to school. It's like you're trying to wisen up. You're trying to actually grow up and realize life is not a joke and stuff like that. You only get one life to live. Live it good. Live it right. That's serious, man. So, yeah, I took the hit from my wife, and that's a simple, straight, cut and dry truth. Took the hit, and that's what I've been doing the whole time: sacrificing, taking hits for people that I don't deserve myself. So if I'm given a fair chance for myself, the door should be completely open to me because my whole experience in Salt Lake City, Utah has never been a bad it has never been a bad experience. Nobody has ever felt any kind of ill will from me or any bad intent. All of my intention was always clean and pure. I was never after nobody's wife. I was not into swinging or none of that crap. I even talked to customers like, man, I don't like, I would even tell them and complain to them like, man, I don't like when customers schedule appointments and the wife is only home for more than one reason. But when the wife is only home, sometimes she don't know where the stuff is at, the DMARC is at, or whatever the case. Or, she just don't really want to be bothered with. She don't, just my husband said is this and that and he wanted like this. Or, she got to call the husband and I'm on the phone with the husband and he's not there to really like tell me what I need to know because the wife says something wrong or something. And he's like, no, that's not what it is. She's nice. She don't know what she's talking about. And then he had to tell me the right thing. Well, I don't know. Talk to him. Like, so I'm like, well, you should have scheduled it when you said that was the best time I could do it. All right, no problem. Type of stuff. And then, or it would get to the point where when it first got to the point of them wanting to do the swing thing, that's when the attraction started. But I was really closed off about all of that stuff, and I only love my wife and stuff. I wasn't open to it. But I was doing a job in Park City, and the tap was in the woods or something like that. It was in the woods, and I had to climb. I had to go down the hill into the woods to the tap on a pole. Climb the pole in the woods, whatever. Get the ladder there. Climb up, da 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 da. Get it up there, run the line. Had to get it through the twigs. It wasn't that much. I had to get it through, so I was good. I was happy about that. Had to get it up the hill, get it through the tree. The one tree I had to get it through, got it through there, and then put it up on a pole, and then put it from the pole to the house. So from the tap to a pole, up the hill, and then to the house. And that took me about 4 hours to do, cause So I finally finished. And when I finished, the customer's wife was like, she couldn't like the energy off coming off of her was overly kind. It was overly kind. And my wife did not make she didn't make any lunch for me. She didn't make any lunch, so I didn't have anything to eat. I just had my bottle of frozen water that I would always bring to work because it would be hot in the summertime, dry heat. So I had a bottle of frozen water under the seat. Now, drink water. So she gave me a jelly sandwich, a jelly peanut butter and strawberry jelly sandwich, and it wasn't just a regular old strawberry jelly and peanut butter sandwich, but when I tried to take it out the Ziploc bag to eat it, it wasn't coming out because it was so slimy. I'm like, what the heck is this? Slimy as ever. But I'm like, man, the jelly seeping through the bread and crap. I'm like, what the heck? What's going on with this sandwich, man? Like, she overdid it. Then I realized once I was eating it, I realized what she was trying to say. Like, oh, dang. So the energy became real. The swinging energy became real. Then I started doing other jobs like home security, and then young girls start getting flirty and stuff like that. Stuff like that. I mean, young girls to me, they probably in just hitting 18, 19, but I'm like in my 30s or so. I'm like already, but my wife is young too. So, 20, 21. So it was like at that time, I was like, so it was like she's born 98. So it was like January 8th, 98. So it's like fresh in. So she's still a rookie too. So they probably feeling like, dang, if he can be with a girl like that, I'd be better. It was like that at work. Girls feeling jealous, like knowing you got a wife they can be a better wife to me, and they probably feeling like, oh, is it because I'm white? That energy. Like, oh, it's probably because I'm white and she's mixed with black and white, and so it wasn't even that. I'm just married. I love my wife, so I was cut off. It's not about the black or white thing, not with me. You know, but I can see past the bag. But yeah, just all that, man. It should be like that all the time. If I was single, if I was single, yeah, I would open up because it could be an opportunity where I can meet the right woman. You know, but I was closed off at the time. You know, and if I could get my daughter back and try to, it was like no, it's like I don't know, man. It's nothing to fuss about. It's no bad blood between me and Rachel at all. So like, I don't want to be fussed at on behalf of my wife. You know, I don't want to be fussed at because I want to try to carry as many grocery bags from the trunk to the front door as I can. Like that's nothing to fuss about. So it's nothing to fuss about. So if I did see again trying to get my daughter stuff, you know, I wouldn't mind trying to like be a team partner because me and Rachel work well together. That's probably what it was. Like me and Rachel work very well together. When it came to even her swamp cooler and stuff, she needed to borrow my ladder from my truck. Let her use the ladder from my truck, tied it off, made sure it was secure, made sure she didn't fall off or nothing. Joe just sitting there like F her. Got the muscle shirt on, muscles hanging out. He's just looking at Rachel like F her. And I'm like, hey, I'm like, you just not caring. She climbing the ladder. She trying to make sure the swamp cooler good enough so that her children can stay cool in the house. She's worried about her children. You know, and whatever Tanika and Joe was doing, it started becoming a bad sour taste in the family, and ended up causing my daughter to not know me, and my son to not know me. Them having that lustful energy towards each other, Joe and Tanika. To be honest, that's what it was. Because I already told you about the cluff when she cluffed him, cluffed his balls and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Strange stuff happening, but we still trying to hold on. And then Rachel saying, "Honey, get home," and Tanika coming down the steps with Joe and stuff like that. And from the ball cluff, you went from the ball cluff to the ball cluffs and suck, and you still trying to be married with me, kissing and crap. And Joe feeling like you just dumb, but it's really like, yo, why y'all just not talking? If you really love her, you really in love with her and stuff like that, and whatever the case, why would you let a guy come and love her and marry her and not say anything? So it shows that even when I'm not here, or even if we don't work out and you left me and I want a divorce and all this bull crap, y'all still not gonna really work out because you wasn't there to defend her before I came and when I was coming. You just like being aggressive. That's not defending her. Defending her meaning show your love to her. Show that you want to marry her yourself. You know, do that yourself so that she won't have to call on another guy. And you not when the other guy pop up, you not saying anything. Talk to me. Hey man, that's my girl. Oh, my bad. My bad. Well, dang. Well, I can go back to the shelter while I'm working and stuff, find me my own place and I can make some money and I can get out of here. Or I can probably just like, if I'm rocking off here, I just stay here. You know what I'm saying? That's how I could think. I could just cut it straight off like that. I'm that type of person. I will cut it straight off. If I know that a man and a woman is together, or just the boyfriend or whatever the case, and they got something going on, or they sex partners, they fuck partners, whatever the case, I'm cutting it straight off. Even if she fucking them for weed or something like that, I can just cut it straight off. Oh, she's in a situation right now. So, all right, I'm not going to judge her. I'm not going to throw her under the bus, but don't bring me into it. So, just go my way. So it won't be any bad blood and bad words won't come forth because now you hurt me. So that it won't be that. Then you got little Big Joe looking like Dave East up in my face frowning at me, and I don't even know. I don't even know he exists. I just only talked to Tanique on the phone, and I know about Joe in the background. But little Big Joe, he frowning at me like who's this guy? Oh, that's not my boyfriend. I don't know who that is. Like, please tell me the truth. Like, because when it comes to relationships and feelings and emotions, people will die over feelings and emotions and love and stuff. So why would you play like that? Catting and saying reverse things. So, but yeah, if anything, it would be I don't have any bad blood with anybody. So even DeAndre, he just said something so stupid out of his mouth. Maybe he really didn't mean to say it like that, but he said it like that anyway because he feeling some kind of way too. He really want to get away from his sister, but his sister's like really trying to bully him and stuff like that and pull him into some energy. And Charles is just playing Fortnite all the time. Charles is Charles, little Charles, playing Fortnite all the time, doing his thing. Teenager. Trying to stay away from his sister too, because she's like a bad example of a sister. And that's how they acting. Like, yo, this is how they acting towards her. Like, you're a bad example of a sister. Like, and it's just telling the truth, yo, because it gotta come out. Um, but me seeing all of this is trying to help my wife be a good mother and a good wife and a good woman all at the same time by giving her good character and good energy from me, which was starting to work. But your mother not liking you and crap because even when we had the Equinox, when we got the Chevy Equinox or whatever, even though it was in her on her credit or whatever, I was trying to pay it all the way off or whatever the case. That was the plan. If I'd have stayed in Salt Lake City, Utah, it would have been paid all the way off, you know, because I know I'm really good with money. When the money is coming in, I'm really good with budgeting money. When I'm not knowing what the plan or knowing what's tomorrow going to bring, I'm not going to be good with budgeting money because I'm not sure of what's going to happen. If somebody's going to open the door or not. And you still got to live and spend money. So it's not really, it don't count when you're trying to budget money and not knowing what tomorrow brings. But when you do know, yeah, I already know what I can do. So I knew I was going to get the Equinox, the Chevy Equinox 2014. I was going to buy that off, and that was going to be the family SUV. Brooklyn is always with us in the back. I wanted to, because Brooklyn, I didn't know enough about Brooklyn. But if it came to the point where Brooklyn needed a family to stay with, then she could have stayed with us. But we didn't have a spot yet. But when it got to the, if it had got to the point, Brooklyn could have stayed with us. This would have got a bigger spot. It just would have been easier on Rachel for real, because she's like, you're just seeing Rachel get up every morning, drinking coffee, running out the door, driving off, get to work, come back home from work, coming in the house. Why the dishes not washed? Da 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 da. I'm like, dang, that's when I first came. So I was like hearing her fuss. Everything that she fussed about, I made sure it was done. So when she would come in the house, dang, nothing to fuss about. Go in the bedroom and go to sleep. She would go in her bedroom and go to sleep. And so stuff like that. And it's quiet and it's peaceable. Like, yo, stay peaceable. Your mother trying to sleep, she's working. Trying to let them know that real life is real, stuff like that. And so just trying to help, man. But yeah, man, I would just want my daughter's back, and I think the only person I could probably be a team person, or if you want to call it co-parenting, team person, team partner, or whatever, with my daughter and my son would be Rachel. Cause no bad blood. No bad blood at all. She just don't like her daughter. She don't like her daughter. That's all it is. All it really is. Even when we went back to our house, my wife didn't really want to. She didn't really have or want Nabina, and I think that's why Nabina pushed her in the back like that, because she's more so always with Rachel. Even one time I called when I was at work, I called home. I'm like, Rachel, what you doing at my house? Like, I'm like, what you doing at my house? She like, oh, I just came over, whatever the case, and she got Nabina. So I'm thinking, okay, so, you know, but I'm like, if it's like that, don't piggyback off of me, yo. Like, I'm a good person, like, cause that happened in the Philippines too. My wife at the time when I was married to her, Jenny Rose, before I married her, I was like, do you have a boyfriend? And if you have a boyfriend, I can help you. I can help you and your boyfriend get on your feet. I can give you some money and help you get a vulcanizing shot or whatever the case, because I'm here to help. I'm not here to like intrude or nothing like that. And she was like, no, I don't have a boyfriend or nothing like that. Turns out she had a boyfriend. Like, well, if you'd have took the 50,000 pesos in the beginning and got the vulcanizing shot, you wouldn't be sitting here, golly, raping me. Yeah, month after month after month. You could have had the money. You still could have got assistance from me. It didn't have to be the end of it. Gave you the 50,000, and that's all you. It could have been consistent help, so long as I can help, and I wouldn't have got trapped in the field. It wouldn't have been none of that. If you'd have just said, "Yeah, I got a boyfriend and this that, and the third," I would have gave you the 50,000 pesos. If you need any more help like that, I can help you. I'll help you. It didn't have to be the end. It could have just been I helped you, and it could have been consistent. She probably thought it was going to be a one-time thing, and she ain't. Who knows what it would have been. But maybe I don't know, man. But it ended up in the end, her going back to her ex-boyfriend. The same thing to Nika. Like, yo, if y'all need help, yo, I can help. I don't need to be here. I could just be the rabbi that teaches y'all. And I can help where I can help at by working and then assisting y'all with money or whatever the case. I can do that if I can do it. I don't have to be the guy that's trying to be intruding or the boyfriend, and now it's bad blood with the people that really love you or the people that really burning in lust for you and having sex with you all the time. And now they got bad blood with me because I came in wrong, not knowing what the heck going on. So they want to take it out on me anyway, even though I'm stupid to what the heck going on still to this day, and nobody opening their mouth. That's why it's still a secret. Like, if it comes out like, yeah, I was fucking her the whole time. Oh dang! Like, well, I'd have never came if that was happening. Why you ain't say nothing in the beginning like that? You don't let it get that far. We even get married in a courthouse and crap like that. We got a marriage certificate and all that, and you still ain't say nothing the whole time. Like, why you let it go that far then? So that's what it be, yo. People not talk. Bad intents, bad emotions, bad blood, um, rekindled emotions from broken stuff from before. And so you're just the new guy, and everybody feeling some kind of way about the new guy, and the new guy don't know what the heck going on. So it's not like I'm laying up with a random girl out of nowhere. I came from a whole nother state because this girl that said some stuff to me that made me come all the way over here, crying for help and stuff. So if I'd have known that it was really Rachel crying for help, then I would have just helped Rachel. Because that's what it's looking like. Oh, Rachel need help. You know, so I can help Rachel, and then I can help her with Brooklyn, and that's what it was really looking like. Rachel and Brooklyn, and then DeAndre and Charles and Tanika is like getting old enough on the point to where they don't need as much help and much time. They're on their way out. They're on their way out the door, as to say, like they on their way like to do their own thing. DeAndre is like debating whether he should go in the military, whether he should rap, or whether he not really knowing what he want to do. He didn't even have a job yet. His first job was at Subway, and he was like, trying to learn how to make a Subway sandwich. Him taking the initiative and stuff like that, like, you know, first time. He still was in high school. Charles still in high school, so it's like, yeah, they didn't need much help, and I was always trying to be open with DeAndre to try to like really like talk to him like a father figure. And it was stupid to do that, and I'm with your sister and stuff, so I tried to make it like a big brother, but it was dumb because the whole thing should have been me helping Rachel, and everything else would have been just right in right perspective. Tanika could have just like she had a father figure, me, helping her how to do all of this stuff, and it wouldn't have been nothing intimate. Nothing intimate at all. But DeAndre, nothing, nothing crazy. Charles, nothing crazy. With Brooklyn would have had a father figure, you know. And I think the only person that felt some kind of way about me being gone to this day would be Brooklyn. Like, why is he gone? Like, what's the real reason? Anybody like, why is he not here? Like, And I think Brooklyn, my daughter, and my son would be the three people that would had the most feelings, as well as Rachel, whole bottling in a lot of stuff, and she can't bottle it no more to where she's about to die and have a heart attack or crap because she's holding in love that she has towards me, never saying anything about it. Like, you in love with a man, but you're making it look like you hate him so much by saying stupid stuff, but you in love with him so much or whatever. You don't want nobody to know how good of a man he is because you wish you had him, type of stuff. You know, if it had worked out that way, it would have been that way. You know, all it took was a small word. It really was me that loved you, not her. Oh, well, dang. You know, how we fix this? You know, how do we fix this? You know, can't run away from my daughter, but we got to fix it some kind of way. So is that um, talking your heads off, boy? 2 hours some change. But it's like that, man. When you miss it, you don't know somebody. Like everybody that might have known who I was in Salt Lake City or might have seen my face. Even one time we was doing DoorDash one time because I had lost my job. We did ended up doing DoorDash. DoorDash had just came out. So Tanika got the job with DoorDash, and I just did the job. Then she drove, but I did the moving around. When she wanted to move her legs and stuff, she would get out the car and move her legs and stuff. She was pregnant with our son, But whatever the case, um, um, yeah, we was doing DoorDash. So while doing DoorDash, one time I got to see how the youth treated the elderly in the city and stuff. So we in Salt Lake City downtown by the Wicked Center or the center where they was playing Wicked, and the streetcar, the light rail was there, and then we had just came from Cheesecake Factory around there, that main food area and stuff. We always was in that spot picking up food at the Cheesecake Factory, whatever the case. But we was at the spot. It was some kind of noodle spot. We go in there right next door to the building that they played Wicked at. I get out, um, go in there. This elderly woman is working. She's the cashier and stuff like that. And this elderly Caucasian woman, she got gray hair and stuff like that. She's looking old, too old to be working there. And I'm feeling some kind of way, like, man, I see a lot of young people standing here. A lot of young people standing here, and this woman is just moving and shaking and baking, sure to get in the orders in. So I'm just sitting here like, I'm like, I got a DoorDash order. She's like, oh, yeah, I'll get you in a minute because, you're busy. I'm like, no, take your time, man. Like, take your time. It's cool. And then I'm sitting there. No, I didn't say anything yet. I come in, I wait. I said, I got a DoorDash order. She's like, a minute. So I'm like, then I stay back. And then these girls come in. These young girls look like High School Musical girls from I don't know where at, but they look like that. Come in, start demanding a lady, like snapping fingers. Can you hurry up with the whoa? I was like, I just my whole everything. Then like, what the heck? Like, why is talking to an elderly woman like that? I was like, she already getting it done. She already moving fast as she can. She old, and y'all just snapping fingers at her coming in out straight coming in the door like this a movie or something. It's not. Y'all better keep that on TV. Like, man, I'm like, man, can you take your time, man? Take your time. Don't rush. Don't worry about it. Take your time. That's that. Cause she was like looking at the little girls like she ready to say something to him. And, it's like, hey, boy, what the heck is that? And they ready to get snappy and stuff until I said something. And they looked at me, knowing that I defend her. Like, oh, he probably a defender. Yeah, I would defend her. Like, one of y'all High School Musical, you's not going to give her A today. Like, give me an A. You don't, all that. You don't give her an A, a B, a C, all that. Straight make you quit off the cheerleading team if I say something to you. Start crying and cry. Like, just like let her work. She's working. You can see, just observe the situation. She moving and shaking and baking. She old, knees probably bad. Understand that. You know what I'm saying? So stay hush, observe. Then see, oh, can you hurry up? If she's not moving or if she's like really not working or something like that. And at the same time, why you not seeing that she's with the world? Even Conca as an old woman working at Hardee's at the truck gas station, the truck stop. I pulled up there one time on my way back from Tennessee, I think. Pulled up there, get something from Hardee's because I ain't seen Hardee's in a long time. Hardee's, let me get over here. Oh no, it wasn't Hardee's, it was Roy Rogers or something like that. Let me get over here. Roy Rogers? What you talking about? Get in here. Be in here. Go in here. First person I see was this old woman at the register. And I'm like, where the people at? She was like, ain't no I've been working. I sit up here and I work 10 hours, 12 hours sometimes, and I just stand up. You don't sit down. Like, no, not. Like, they sit down, but I stand. I'm like, what? Like, you should not be working here. I was going, oh, you should not be. You should be SSI or something like that, getting disability. I've been here working, man. Where these kids at? Getting mad. Where the kids at? The children at? Young kids need to go to work. What you doing? Like, it's gonna be bad for the future. Like, we're standing up here working late night, 10, 12 hours like me, doing cable, and you just like, what? She's like, nobody else do it. Nobody else. Like, where? Like, Ace, you said somebody supposed to be coming, right? She's like, yeah, somebody supposed to be coming to fill in for me. They late. They always late. She's like complaining to me. I'm like, always late. Out of here, man. These kids is crazy, boy. Straight up. Late the new kid they come in, creeping in all late, taking their time and stuff like she like. I was mad. Got my food and I walked out. Oh, you have a good day, man. Wanted to give her a hug, but I ain't give her a hug. Just walked out. Like, yo, these young people different, shorty. They cannot hold up. They cannot hold up the country. Now I'm about to get into politicking and stuff. Forgive me, but they could not hold up the country, the nation. They couldn't. The way they are, yo. The way they are. Disrespectful to their elders, snapping back all the time. Don't say yes, ma'am. Don't say yes, sir. They gonna get older and be like, dang, I wish I should have said yes, ma'am. And all that. But yeah, man. There's lessons and everything. You just gotta know how to get it to them. You know what I'm saying? Don't let these young people run over top of you. You gotta be able to let them see life and see how it really is instead of just trying to be prop all the time. You gotta be spicy sometimes. Put some more flavor in there. Let them know, like, what, yo? Like, really, really get it to them. Get it pierced into their soul. Like, yo, whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like, improper English and all that. Whole time. Make all the sense in the world speaking improper English and make them feel stupid. He don't talk right, yeah, but you don't work. And you don't, you know what I'm saying? Respect your elders. And I'm talking right, though. I don't talk right, but I talk right. So it's like, yeah. It's crazy, yo. If you knew that I spoke broken English, you would understand. So was that, man. That was one time I had experienced the terrible experience I experienced. Another time, somebody ran over a lady's Comcast feed out Heba. I had to go way out there. It was daytime, but I knew that it was no lights out there because it's just open field. Not many homes, just two or three homes. And I'm knowing like if her stuff is off, her Wi-Fi stuff off, like that's gonna be bad because she in the middle of nowhere. At nighttime, it's no lights, it's just pitch black dark. So I'm like, man, it was her tap was still working, but if I didn't want to touch it too much because it might cut off or something. It was ran over. They broke the node. Whatever truck ran it over, whatever the case. So I had put in for a ticket for maintenance to come out there and fix her node and so fix her Wi-Fi and stuff like that. But I'm thinking I was still in a little mindset like the mindset that I was having, black versus white bull crap. But when I came out to her door, that's what ended me thinking like that. She was like, she was talking to me like she was happy that I was there because the guys over there, she's scared of the guys over there, the white guys in the truck, the Caucasian guys that was in the truck. And she was just sitting there like looking like she couldn't talk, but she was just looking, giving me gestures and stuff. I'm like, oh, the node and the truck and the guys in the truck and you looking scared and stuff. So I was like, all right, I got you, you know. So I was realizing that it's not about brown and Caucasian. It's not about brown and pink. It's not about black and white as you call it. It's really about black and white. It's about demons and holy people, But, demon worshippers and, holy worshippers, worshippers of the Creator. It's about us, heaven and hell. So yeah, you could say black and white in that sense, but it's not about pink and brown as far as skin tones and stuff like that. That's what I realized being here. So I really liked it here in Salt Lake City. It's just I did not know what was going on with my wife and her family like that. But at the end, I realized that Rachel really was in love with me. I just never said anything. I just didn't want to entertain it. But at the same time, me not saying anything was probably making her mad at me because you just gonna sit there and not say anything and I love you. And she hates you and she don't love you. Next thing you know, she crying and crap. So I didn't want to entertain it, so I left it alone. And her daughter's like, I don't care. I want Joe and I want him. And I don't care. She wasn't caring about the pain of her mother. And so if I'd have known all of this stuff, I would have been able to come in right. I would have been able to come into the family more right. And I would have been, okay, Rachel need the help. Then I would have been there for Rachel. And then Rachel would have got to see like, oh, he's a good guy all the way. So it like, she wouldn't have regretted her decision to open up to me instead of, But yeah. But I'm back because I have a daughter. So hopefully it work out, man. But I just want to end it because I've been on here too long talking about myself. A lot of nothing. Hopefully Xfinity opened the door for me to get a job at the store. I don't want to do the technician work anymore because I'm really disabled. But I could work at the store. I could work at the store because I don't have to like do anything heavy like lifting a ladder or climbing up anything or crawl space and stuff like that. And then my back, I got a bad back, like crawling up under somebody's trailer home and my back bad and stuff like that. I got ran over by a car when I was young, and it just came back to haunt me when I got on that ladder and it slipped from under me. I had to hold on to the electrical line and hold on to the ladder with my left hand. So no, the electrical line with my right hand and the ladder with my left hand, and I'm dangling in the mist, and so I had to use my strength to pull it back together like I'm Spider-Man trying to hold the subway from slipping off. The strongest spider web that you ever seen in your life was that time when he tried to stop the subway from falling off the thing. But it was that moment, and I pulled my back out. I felt it pop when I was dangling. My lower back pop. Like what the heck? Got down, I was able to save myself. It was some spiky fence underneath too, so I was able to save myself. And when I saved myself, I got down. And then later that night, my father was still alive at the time. My guardian was still alive. And I called him. He was like, just put a heating pad on it, this, that, and the third. And it was hurting so bad, I had to go to the ER. And she took me to the ER, Tanika. Took me to the ER. And I had to go on disability. So the job I was trying to get, I couldn't keep up, man. I couldn't keep up. So I didn't think to go to a retail store or stay at Comcast and then try to go to a retail store and let them know that I got injured on the job. Just tell them my stuff. I didn't think about that. But hopefully I can get it now and pick back up where I left off, because this was a good spot for me to live at, actually. I had no bad run-ins with anybody I encountered in Salt Lake City until the guy pulled the gun out on me at X3 Tradesman. That was the only bad encounter, but I guess he was, I don't know. I don't even think he really had something against me. You're just like, oh, I forgot to leave it in the car. You shocked me. You made me nervous. Like, he always carried his gun everywhere he go. But I'm just like, okay. But it might have been also people that knew Tanika. Tanika was trying to just probably get rid of me, but not making it known that she's trying to get rid of me. But she's not knowing that I'm the type of person that all you got to do is just tell me. You can break my heart and I take it well. You can break my heart by talking to me about how you don't feel the same way you used to feel and how you feel this, that, and the third. And I don't want to be in this relationship. And you can tell me that stuff. You can open up all the way and tell me that, like, dang, that hurt. And we got children and stuff. Well, how we going to do the custody thing? And this and that. Like, even through the pain, I can still think well and I can still make good decisions, and I can move on. But that was the thing. It would have turned into, I don't love you, but I don't want anybody else to love you either. That's what it would have became, like it always was since I was young. A girl don't have a reason to leave me. She don't have a reason to hate me. So she don't want me to be with anybody else, but she don't want me herself either. So that's Tanika right now. I don't love you, but I don't want anybody else to love you either. Because then she's gonna malfunction. All of the whatever she's being like today is gonna malfunction and come out. Even if I did like talk to her mother, not even on that level. If I'm just being communicative with her mother, as far as like dealing with Nabina and Naaza, she probably burn about that too, because she's gonna be thinking, oh, you and my mother always together. Y'all always calling each other. Y'all always talking. What's that about? And rah rah rah. Next thing you know, she gonna pull a knife out and crap. So that's Tanika. That still was my husband. I don't da. But I don't know, man. Maybe I'm saying all of this stuff for Brooklyn, maybe. Because Brooklyn would be older now. I don't know. I forgot how old she was when I first came. And then it's been 6 years since I seen Brooklyn. Because she had moved out. And they said she moved in with her father. She lived with her father. I'm like, oh, she moved with her father? So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know what the situation really was. If it would have been a situation where Brooklyn needed a father, then yeah, I could have been there for Brooklyn. I didn't have anything that I was dealing with. I didn't have any family. I didn't have any children already. I didn't mind if I came into a situation and, had to be a stepfather type stuff. I didn't mind that. I'm already getting old myself. I just don't have a family. So I was like, man, I could take that. But little Brooklyn, always playing with her dolls and stuff, her stroller and stuff, make believe and all that. Maybe she really wanted to tell me something but didn't know how to tell me. Maybe I don't know. But Brooklyn was there. She knew. She saw the Equinox that she drove in the car that we had. And she was there, seeing the progression. Then left before we moved out. And then She would visit sometimes, and then I haven't seen Brooklyn. I think it's her name, Brooklyn Young. Haven't seen Brooklyn in a minute, since in 6 years. So if anything, she probably babysitting Nabina and feeling some kind of way or something like that, or like, where is your father type stuff, you know. So whatever the case, Yvonne, Tanika's other family, like her family, like even her aunt, both her aunts, the one that has the cane, she has to walk with a cane, and then her other aunt, forget that, I don't remember their names because they wasn't really, we were properly introduced, but we were not, consistently introduced to remember their names. So at the hospital when um, who was born first? I know who was born first, but what hospital was first? Who was born at? I don't think which one. When the Ozzy was born, I believe. Yeah, when the Ozzy was being born. Oh, I forget who. I forget. It might have been the first one. Her aunt came to visit her, the one without the cane, and that was a kind of like a staleness, but it wasn't obvious. It was like one of those stillnesses that they probably had family issues, but it wasn't my business type of thing. Well, it wasn't time for me to know, even though I'm now that I'm part of the family, it's not time for me to know type of stuff. And she's like, her aunt is talking to her like, da 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 da. And she's like, yeah, in the name of Yah, only in the name of Yah, and this and that. And Tanika's like speaking up all strong, Yah this, Yah that. Like, what is wrong with you, girl? Like, all right, that's enough. And her aunt is like, okay, da 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 da. Like, what? And she got up. Like, her aunt looked like somebody that runs a business or a CEO of a company or something like that. Caucasian woman, like run a CEO of a company or something like that. So she's just getting all in her, like getting up under her skin, and her aunt is just getting, feeling the feelings. So she just got up and walked out before she reacted on the feelings and the emotions she was having. You know, even her aunt with the cane was having feelings and emotions. They just like sitting there just feeling emotions, and I'm not knowing where it's coming from. You know, but I still don't. It's just recalling all of this stuff and what memories I do have and how things played out, the bitterness in it. I can see it a little bit more clearly, but I still don't really know what's going on. You know, so I'm here, do my best. Next step, get a spot. Somebody gonna look out for me, I guess, month to month lease. See if I can like last until a job opens up for me. I wouldn't go back to HVAC because when the guy pulled the gun out on me, I quit the whole thing. I left the college. I left the whole college and everything. You know, the first thing was the guy was telling me to do a halfway job. We at the Mormon building downtown, right? Downtown, right next to the Mavericks. We in there. We had to get the key cards to swipe in to get in through the sideway. So we go in. We had to go through the supply area where all the towels and stuff is at, and we were doing work in there, duct work and all kind of putting in AC units and all kind of stuff like that. We was doing that in there, and we had a big unit. It's a big unit that we had to prepare. It was 40 copper pipes coming out of there, 40 small copper pipes, and I had to like sand all 40 pipes. So now I'm thinking like, even though I'm not a Mormon, I'm still a rabbi. Mormons would have respect for the Bible as much as I do, or as closest to I would have as much respect for the Torah, the scriptures itself. We quote the same scriptures together. So that's what the respect coming from. Us quoting from the same scriptures. So me being in there, I have a level of respect. So I'm wanting to do a good job in the place. So I'm sitting down, I'm sanding everything, getting each copper pipe. Guy comes up to me, he's the foreman. He comes up to me, he's like, do a halfway job. What? Do a halfway job? How you sound? Just do a halfway job. He's fussing with me, telling me to do a halfway job where my teacher is telling me, do a good job. Do a good, he's in the 40 years plus. He said, doing a good job. Do a good job. Make sure you sand it well and that, because when you got to solder it and this, that, and the third, no leaks are happening, this, that, and the third. So I'm like, what, man? He's just fussing hard, like, do a halfway job, da 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 da. Trying his hardest to get my lunch money, and I'm just not moving. Like, you was not getting my lunch money, shorty. Sanding it. I'm not from here. Like, this is not Stranger Things. It's none of that. Like, I'm. I'm too in myself to be like feeling moved by you over something stupid, you know. So I'm just still saying it. You got the, his cheerleaders in the background. These guys look like they was on a football team or something like that. Or once upon a time, they standing behind them. They not even on our team. They were a whole nother team, but they just see me there, and so they, feeling some kind of way. They go and get the foreman, say something, so I want to move them. Like you move me yourself and see where my head is at. You know, if you're talking about a logic game, I'm gonna make all of y'all feel like little babies in Pampers if you're trying to like make it a logic thing, you know. So if you want to try to make it something else, what is it? And you like do a halfway job. I'm like, what? And it was like dumb. It was worse than what you trying to talk about. You debating over logic. That's way worse. Do a halfway job. You can put the company in danger. I was working for a mountain something. I forgot some company called Mountain something. And I wanted to. I left X3 Tradesman to go to that company, an actual HVAC company directly, because I was going to school and I was to be a service tech. And I was like, I'll work with this company directly. God telling me to do a halfway job was crazy. I thought he was gonna get fired, but I got fired because he said we can't tolerate insubordinates. I said, what? He was the one who told me to do a halfway job, and I said I'm not gonna do a halfway job. So I realized he was saying he put it on me. Like, yeah, I would have fired him, but I put it on you because but I can't tolerate insubordinates. And I can't tolerate these boys. You can't do nothing with them. They above the law and crap like that. So I'm putting it on you, even though I hate him and stuff like that. Like, why I gotta be like that? Just like, yo, ruining your company and crap, telling people to do halfway jobs. What? So then what? The stuff start leaking. Then it fall back on you, the company, and then there's one company out of the box, and they like, yeah, I got one down. You know what I'm saying? What the heck? Yeah, I'm a native Indian. I'm not feeling none of these people. All of this stuff they made it become. This is my state. This is my this. This is the moment. It's like, yo, I'm a native Indian, so I'm not feeling none of this stuff that you're talking about. So I'm comfortable wherever my feet go at in this whole place. I'm a Cherokee all the way. So I'm not feeling over you. My grandmother not even black. Like my grandmother raised me. My grandmother not black at all. She's German and Cherokee Native Indian only. So I don't know nothing about nothing else. So it's crazy. So I'm not feeling them. I learned how to stay in touch with the land and stay connected. So I can blank out and just be cool and just like not, I don't feel nothing, Wherever I'm at, that's what it is. So anyway, he tried to make up for it later, like, you want some pizza, man? I'm like, no, I don't want no pizza. I want an apology. Like, apologize for telling me to do a halfway job. Because you feeling like you can buy a pizza after telling somebody to do a halfway job. Where you come from with that? And it was right down the street from the Vivint Center, around the corner from, like, you got to cross the bridge. Once you cross the bridge, make that left. It's North 6 apartments, and then you cross the train tracks. But that's where it's at. So from the Vivint, yeah, so it's where it's from. Where's that? And then we did DoorDash all around there. All that, man. It's just a lot of memories. But I'm just saying, a lot of memories, but still not enough, because I missed 5 years of my daughter's life. And I don't know what she sound like. I don't know what she look like. I don't know what she talk like. You know, I don't know. Like, I want to laugh and stuff. She might say something that's funny. I can laugh, like her trying to talk and express herself. All of that stuff I want to be able to experience. But can't. Her smiling, her being sad, trying to comfort her like I always did. Her mother never comforted her when she was crying, ever, until they pushed me out. Then probably she would have to. And if it wasn't her, then, you know, Rachel did it. But Tanika was so disconnected. She breastfed, but that was as far as it went. I had her or Rachel had her. But maybe it's just, I don't know what it was, man. Feelings and emotions and bottled up stuff inside of your mind that you're not expressing, so you reacting off of the stuff instead of communicating it so it can be a smoother thing or whatever. That's how it is. That's how my mother is. She feel feelings and emotions in herself and forget everything that we've talked about before. Like why I was even at her house, what was the plan now that I'm here, and then how I ended up being laid on the couch from the car collision and being injured, and then waiting for the settlement check, and then knowing this, and then all of that memory went out the window. Like, dang, we was supposed to be waiting for this and that and this and that. You just got emotional so hard. You just got somebody to push me out the house. But how can you get somebody to kick me out of your house? It's terrible. Like, that's terrible. This is my mother's house. Somebody else come in my mother's house and say, you got to get out of your mother's house. Like, This is funny. I think that's why she moved into that place because she knew her children would come back and want answers, and she would not want to give those answers or want to communicate, so she can get somebody to push herself. Disrespectful that somebody would do that for a woman that's like that. Because if that was their mother, they would be the same way, sitting there waiting for their mother to give them answers and stuff, or write them off, write them, write all that, man, all that. But I liked it, man. I really did like living here because when I had my own spot, I was comfortable all the time in my own spot. It was just Tanika was giving me emotions and mixed signals, and I didn't know how to take it a lot of times. So I'm up and down because she's up and down, or she's just setting her emotions. She got a cousin that's a blood, or whatever the case, like the Crip and Blood thing they have out here. She got a cousin that's a blood, and there's feelings and emotions about that, and then this, and then that, and then I don't know anything because nobody's communicating, and then it's like, well, how about you just stop lying and saying that you alone and you don't have anybody, using me as the source to get people emotional and jealous to try to come into your life and make it right now that you got married to a guy. You know, it should have been like what I said in the beginning. No, I don't want to be with you. I can be your rabbi though. I can help you. So if I did come to Salt Lake City, I can just help her with her relationship issues and her lust issues, as she said. And then I would have known that Rachel was the one that I could, I would have gravitated towards Rachel before anything. Like if I just popped up and I'm in this family and I got introduced to this family some kind of way, I would gravitate towards Rachel instantly before anything else because we connect easily and instantly. She's real all the time. She say it straight forward, clear, whatever's on her mind. She don't play games. She just say it. Like, and then if she's not clear about something you saying, explain that. What do you really mean by that? She'll really come at you. So I like that. That's what I gravitate towards. So naturally, I would have cleaved into Rachel on any random other time. If any kind of way it happened differently, I would have cleaved to her anyway. But it happened funny. And also all the history. All y'all just got history with each other and stuff that y'all do together. And so it's like, who's the new guy? But nobody want to introduce themselves to the new guy because people already putting the image about me onto them, making it look like I got secrets. Instead of let me speak for myself and introduce myself to them, to y'all myself, and be like, look, man, da 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 da, this that, I'm from here, this that, the third, and you would have got to know me, so that y'all would have been able to make your own individual decisions, hearing it from the horse's mouth. Like I know about him from himself now. Like I didn't know that's what it was going on, and that's how he think he don't really know what's going on. Now we want to hurt him because he don't know what's going on. But you lying and crap, about to get him hit and shot and all this bull crap, and we feeling the emotions because you lying. So it was Tanika and Joe lying and crap. It's crazy. But out of all this, man, forget all of the dumb stuff, all of the drama. I want to end it, and I want to say, I just want to be able to get back on my feet so I can take care of my children, man. Because this would be if this is the last thing I could do in life, this would be the last thing I would want to do in life, is be able to guide my children in the right way, so that you know they can be secure enough, so that when I do die, I did guide them right, and they did see their father before like you know, like who's this guy on my birth certificate? Like that's your father, and it's like what happened? This, that, and the third, and da da da. Now I gotta put it on YouTube and on Instagram for them to try to find it later in life. Like, oh dang, this daddy, and this how daddy was feeling. You know what kind of hatred is gonna breed from them, knowing this is how daddy really felt about me, and y'all didn't let me see daddy. You didn't let me come to daddy. Like they not gonna be six and forever. Like you wasn't six forever. You turned 19 at one point, and then you turned 30, and then you turned 40, and then you sitting there like, yo, I'm so sharp in my mind now. I'm so old now. I'm about to play my mother to death. I'm about to play her to death and hope she get. They're gonna be start wishing stuff like my brother. When he was 7, my mother abandoned all of us. But my father, my guardian, came to get me and my sister, and didn't bring my brother with us. When he was 7, he was going to school one day, and my mother just left with some random guy. She left with some random guy, go to a whole nother state, and my brother comes home from school with the backpack on and all that. Knock on the door locked, nobody there. He's going back and forth, nobody there. Had to got to poop on himself and stuff like that. All this stuff happened. And then social service came to get him. He sat there crying. The neighbors called social service, and they came and got him and put him in foster care. And it's like, you don't stay seven forever. The stupid stuff that you do come back to you, because now my brother is in his 30s, late 30s, and that is a trauma that holds on to you because it's so painful. So then now that's what he's trying to do, trying to kill my mother and crap. It's another reason why I stayed there, trying to protect my mother from getting stabbed by my brother. Him wanting to take it out on me, he can't really, because I was a good brother to him so much that I was like a father. I took care of my brother. I went into the military for my brother. Um, the only reason I didn't die in the pipe patch assimilation, and they cut it short, was because my brother and my sister. I came in for my brother and my sister because my mother wasn't in our lives. So they cut the assimilation short, and they didn't drown me in the assimilation because I had did a stupid thing, before in boot camp, and they was gonna kill me, but they didn't because they realized I have, I'm not, they looked out for me. They was being helpful for me, but I was able to capitalize on that too. So, but whatever the case, man, children don't stay children forever. You know, I survived. A lot of friends that I had in the military died, man, overboards and all kind of stuff on the aircraft carrier. All kind of experiences I had still stick with me, and